Oh, says I'm live. Well, howdy doody there, friends and neighbors. This is your host and crazy person, your crazy Uncle Dave, and it is 2:14 in the a.m. time, Eastern Daylight Time, here on this Thursday, July the crap I forget the date. Welcome and greetings to all of you, and I'm being a little silly today, but I think it's necessary. It's the 26th. I got my calendar. So, greetings and blessings to all of you from this crazy ass Dave down here in Southwest Georgia. I know that recently. Ooh, gotta blow my nose. Hang on. Of course, I would start this live stream and then I gotta blow my nose. Woo! There you go. It's past my time for my meds. Unfortunately, I have to take Benadryl because I'm about 3 times a day. Because whatever is going on with my nostrils. Forgive me, I should have done this before I started this live stream, but I was doing, I was like, what the heck? And then as soon as I went live, my nose started to run. So here we go. I ain't going to stop the daggone video for this. So hang on a sec. Okay. Why am I being crazy today? Why am I like cosmic times 3 or 3x or whatever? Well, I spoke about this before, and it has to do with other people do it too. But, you know, if I get a download or something for the cosmos, my rule of thumb is like, I like to see if anybody else is talking about this or brings it up or whatever, you know. And so my times 3 is the fact that hang on. Things I've already spoken about in previous videos on YouTube and on my Facebook page. Things I talked about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Wednesdays are usually my time with Brian on Milky Way Weekly. And he was out of town, and I hope, we'll get back together. It's okay. But so for today, I'm still checking in with some of like what's going on in the world and who's doing what, and I guess you could say I spend some of my time verifying my downloads, if you will. Okay, it's like, okay, I got cosmic information here. Let's see if anybody else is getting the same kind of stuff. Well, normally I wait until somebody else brings it up. I'm sorry, that's just plumb rude. Okay, sorry about that. I am, really. But it had to be done. So normally I'll get an idea, had somebody else talking about it, and I just want to put my 2 cents worth in, or maybe someone has explained something, and I'm like, you know what? I kind of get where they're coming from with this, but I don't know if anybody else is going to understand it the same way. So when I say I put my spin on it, I try as a communicator to try to give a different point of view, or not necessarily a point of view, but a different way of explaining it. I know there have been times when, I've had to go in and be a communicator many times. The other day it happened again, and which is fine because that's why I'm here for. I'm here to help interpret. And sometimes people get a little wired, upset, and they lose the ability to be able to communicate with whomever. So as my Mother Mary downloads and my what am I supposed to do, after the age of 65, in this planet, what am I supposed to do? Because obviously, I've spoke about this before, my plans have changed. Now, my mission actually is still the same, because it was to be a communicator. I was going to do so with puppets and storytelling and travel and meet people on a one-to-one basis. Well, I can't do that. So I have to understand that the mission is still the same. My sole mission, my reason I'm here still, and the times that I have been saved from death so many times, it's at least 3. It's actually more like about 7, but we won't go there. The fact that I'm still here, the fact that I have been cured of certain ailments, and in my previous, just a little bit ago, I was doing a live stream on Facebook. I was discussing how when I decided to make certain basic changes in my life, for example, when my Facebook live stream I discussed plastics. Well, people don't understand what plastics do to them. I mean, there are plastics on the inside of this aluminum can here. They sprayed some kind of plastic film or something to keep the aluminum from reacting with whatever's in whatever beverage it is, which I didn't know. I thought, it's just aluminum, because I was worried, well, I'm drinking out of aluminum cans. I'm going to get aluminum, Then I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. There's plastic in there. So now I'm like, oh, shit. There's plastic in it? There's plastic in an aluminum can. So I'm trying to stay away from plastic, and they spray it in aluminum cans, criminy netley. All right, okay. It's a different type of plastic than what you would drink out of a plastic bottle. Now, why plastic? Why? Okay, this is my topic for today, is the plastics. But it has to do with the plastics and our frequencies and what's going on in the cosmos and what is our solar system. And this is all, you say, Dave? Plastic has got all this tied in? Yeah. Okay. This is the cosmic message, if you will. Son of a gun, my nose is running. Hang on, I'll do this off camera. Of course, I would decide to do this, and then it would, my nose goes crazy. I love you anyway. Thank you for putting up with me. And somehow I've got over 100 subscribers, and I just want to tell you all, thank you. It's never been about numbers or likes or whatever. It's about the message. It's about understanding simple things and what our cosmos is, that the smallest things affect everything on a large scale. That's why I'm going to use plastic today, or this morning, this evening, wherever you are, as a vehicle, if you will. Now, when they first started switching out from glass bottles to plastic, I was kind of irate, because the taste in the plastic bottles was different than the glass. Everybody told me I was crazy. Okay, fine, I'm crazy. But I know dead gum well and good that tastes different in a glass than it does in anything. Okay. Well, so then they started, by the way, making Mountain Dew in bottles again. And they made it with the old style with sugar instead of a sweetener. Oh my God, those things are so much, they taste like the real Mountain Dew when I was a kid growing up in the 60s, okay? In bottles. Ooh. Anyway. So something that people don't understand, and I'm trying to explain to folks as a communicator, that there are simple things that you can do in your life. And you can say, it doesn't matter, or, well, I do my bit. But are you really looking at the bigger picture here? Now, the bigger picture is everything we do has consequences. So I'm picking on plastic as a consequence. Now, I started complaining about this in the late 90s during puppet shows and things, teaching people how to recycle things, how to stay away from plastics. And now it's like you can't get away from the plastics. You don't have any options. It's plastic or plastic or plastic or plastic or plastic in an aluminum can. Oh my God. Glass is like what? And glass can be recycled, really recycled. Plastics never, ever stop being plastic unless they're burned. And then, even then, some of those polymers and things are bonded in other ways that when they filter out of the smoke and land upon the earth, they never go away. They just get smaller. They'll break down, but they will not go away. One of the problems that whales are having, dolphins, other things, fish, the plastics are so small when the sun breaks them down that they don't go away. They just break the bond between the individual molecules, polymers of the plastics, and they just get smaller. They don't go away. They just get smaller. So the fish have to breathe through their gills. Well, when they're breathing, they're pulling in these polymers into their gills. The same thing with whales. The whales are taking in the krill and all this other stuff, but the krill, by the way, are like way down population-wise. Not good. The plastics even affect the smaller animals that you can only see basically with a microscope or a good, eyepiece thingy. Microscope. Magnifying glass was what I was thinking. But anyway, but to the point though, so every day, all the wonderful people silently are seeking the destruction of planet Earth by the simple use of plastic. And you say, oh my God, I've heard enough of this shit. But hang on. Wait. It has to do with our consequences. Now, years ago, I went to several different specialists. My doctor, two other kidney specialists, urologist thingies, and I still want to punch this one guy. But to the point, I went to them because I had kidney issues. Come to find out that there were cysts and polymer and things and blah, blah, blah in my kidneys. Well, now at that time, I was careful with how many sodas I drank and this and that. But most of the time they were coming out of plastic bottles because they took away the glass. And depending on where I was, I couldn't always get an aluminum can of a drink. And it was just so much convenient for me to get the 20 ounce when, a 12 ounce can, okay. Oh, and I had the lid on it, all the convenience for me, everybody else too. And then one day I realized as I was doing the research and the more I was going into I'm a naturalist, always have been. So going down in the woods and in the swamps and stuff, I see huge islands of plastic. Now people say, well, what's this got to do with spiritualism and the cosmic thing and everything? It's like, because it's our choice. We're doing something that society has said, well, this is okay. When in reality, on a core level, you and me, every time we pick up a plastic container, we're ingesting those plastic polymers into our bodies. So people are having issues with things, health issues, but they're drinking out of plastic bottles. Now, I've spoke about this, I'm sure you have friends of yours, maybe you're doing it, and that's my point of bringing it up. I've got friends who've got deep well water, but because of the convenience of water in a container, they buy water from Walmart or Sam's Club or wherever by the case. And they drink 6 to 8 of these things per day because they're supposed to. At least that's what the world says. You've got to drink 2 gallons of water a day, blah, blah, blah. You'll be in. That's bullshit too. But what my wonderful friends do, because they're told it's okay, and on a core level, they go, They're ingesting. I mean, even water, they found polymers in the water. Doesn't take long because water is chemically, it likes to steal things. So the surface of the plastic, any loose little tiny molecular polymers hanging around, which there are, the water will absorb them. Okay. And I've worked in plastics. I've worked in mills that use plastics. And there is a smell, there is a taste in the plant. You don't have to take it. You just work there. And it's in the air. You can taste it. There are little molecules that go up on the heat as it heats up the polymers to turn it pliable so you can make whatever it is you're going to make. You can taste it. It's ugh. Anyway, so people, oh, it's in a plastic container. Everything's fine. And I recycle my plastic. Well, but the thing is, you may recycle it, but is the plastic actually being recycled? There are a lot of times that it's not. And what has been shown is the amount of plastics that we use, regardless of whether or not we recycle, is that it only takes 1%, not 10 or 20, 1% of spillage of things not getting even to the recycle bin. It gets swept up and then it goes in, or a storm comes, blows a plastic bottle away. It only takes 1% of the plastics that we use on a daily basis, yearly, monthly, whatever, to do what's already been done. 1%. If everybody was as clean as they possibly could with plastics, there would still be 1% of the total that would still be so nasty in the environment and to the rest of us that it still is going to cause problems simply because of what it is. Now, why am I picking on plastics? Well, and I'm speaking gingerly about this. Okay, so Dave's going to lie. He's criticizing people. In a way, yeah, I'm criticizing the fact that they're supposed to be. They claim to be all high and mighty light workers and intelligent people and all this other kind of stuff. But every single day they're using plastics. And I don't mean just one or two, but 6, 8, 10. Everybody's sold on plastic. Every drinker, oh, but I'm recycling. Wait. Why am I bringing this up? It's because you're not looking at the frequency. You're looking at what society says is okay. And you've convinced yourself that if you recycle, that what you do is just fine. Bullshit. Sorry. Had to speak the truth right there. If you're trying to convince yourself, I'm recycling my bullshit, you've missed the point. Why? Because everything is on a quantum molecular level. Now, if you make the choice to drink out of plastic containers, it's your choice. If you choose that that's okay with you, you're ingesting these polymers into your body that's changing your frequency. Oh, yeah, but I'm a light worker. Oh, and I'm praying for the earth and all that. But you're drinking plastics every single day. You're putting these negative polymers and things in your body that's going to collect in your kidney, your liver, and your fat tissue, all the other things, because you think it's okay to recycle and that takes care of your obligation. Really? Stop and think about that. Now, if you're interested in, I wish to change my frequency, if you're saying, I wish to be more spiritual, I wish to do these things, I wish to become a higher being, recognize my angel self, etc. Okay, let me just, I'm going to be, some folks are just going to hate this, but I got to be mean for a second. If you think that you can whitewash The fact that you're drinking whatever out of a plastic container and then that you're going to fool your spirit into thinking, yeah, I'm doing right. I'm recycling this. I put it in this thing. The fact that you use that plastic bottle right there, the fact that you allowed yourself to pick up something plastic and use it is against your spirit, is against your angel self. Okay, Dave, why? Because you are ingesting these polymers into your body. So man, what's a little? No, I'm sorry. You want to clean up your system. You're going to take this thing and you're going to take that thing, and they're coming in plastic bottles. So even some of these things that are supposed to be holistic are coming in plastic bottles. The plastic's rubbing off. Now they talk about the aluminum. Yeah, it's not real good. But I've been talking about the plastic thing for a long time. Now, why am I picking on plastic? It's because it's lowering people's frequencies. It's keeping their frequencies too low. I'm on my Facebook live stream I did an hour ago. I have friends of mine who are overweight, and they eat so well. They exercise and they diet and they watch their calories, and they've got fat hanging down to here. They got muscle, they got good bone, but the fat won't leave them because they're drinking so many polymers per day currently that those polymers, and do your homework, do your science, those polymers and those things have attached to the fatty cells, and there's no way that shit's coming out of their bodies. Not without liposuction, because the body can't get rid of it. So what is that doing? It's lowering these people's frequencies. Well, Dave, you're picking on plastics. Well, there are other things to pick on, but just today I'm just on plastics. But I'm on plastics because plastics are affecting folks on a molecular polymeric type bond with different fatty cells and things. Do your homework. It's there. And you say, well, Dave, how do you know? Because I used to weigh 250 pounds. I'm now 170. I used to have kidney problems. I stopped doing the plastic thing. Yeah, there's still a little plastic in my world, but I don't have kidney problems anymore. They went away. I changed my diet. I stopped going to the neurologist, who really messed me up. Urologist. You're like urologist. Anyway, but to the point though, these things I've cured myself by changing what I bring into my body. When I found out, and this was back in 2002, okay, when I found out what the polymers were doing in my body, and yeah, I was overweight and blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah. But I realized that it wasn't just enough to stop drinking the sodas. It was to stop drinking sodas in plastic containers. I had to stop doing things. Okay, I still get gallon milk in a plastic jug. That's what it is. But I use mostly aluminum when I drink the soda. I stay away from plastics at all costs because of what I know about the polymers and the simple fact that, like I said, plastic never goes away. It just gets smaller. It never disappears in the environment. It never goes away. It's always there. It just breaks down into smaller pieces, but it never goes away. And it's unnatural to the entire planet. All species, all things, everything in one way, shape, or another is affected by the plastics. Now you say, well, Dave, what the hell's this got to do with it? with cosmic this and that and blah, 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 confirmation. The confirmation is that there are some people who are trying to figure out why they're not reaching a higher vibration. Why aren't certain things working? Now, my cosmic message is coming in that's saying there's a reason for this, and it's artificial. And because you're not thinking on little tiny molecules, because I'm thinking in the quantum, I'm thinking in the spirit, I'm thinking in my angel self. And my angel self looked inside my own body and went, what the hell are those little things that are stuck in you? Oh my God, it's plastic. How to get there? Well, I like Mountain Dew. The 20-ounce Mountain Dew. Nothing like it. Ooh. Yeah. Well, when I changed, I still drink Mountain Dew, but not as often because I understand what the other things in the Mountain Dew does. That I switched to aluminum cans. And I almost immediately saw a change in my kidneys and my pee and bladder and so forth. Oh my gosh. And the fact that I also cut down my soda drinking with sugar, whatever. I hate diet drinks, so I never went there, but which is another thing. Diet sodas strip more of the plastics out of the bottles than regular sodas do. And the sweeteners they use combined with the polymers inside the plastic form a bond that will bond with the fat cells in your body that you will never, ever get rid of. I mean, it takes 7 years for you got to stop putting the plastic in. Your body will excrete it. Sometimes it will literally come out your skin. I've done it. You know, what the hell is that? You go, holy crap! It's a piece of plastic come out my arm. Yeah. Some of these things with fibromyalgia and stuff like this. There are certain people they're having things ejected from their bodies, and I'm not saying that all they but certain people, certain types, RH factors, all the above. We're all different. As much as we are the same, we're different. So, but plastics would affect another person differently than it would affect me, simply because I'm A positive, they might be a B negative, whatever. But to the point, all of these things react with us differently. Women with hormone issues, or I say issues just because they're different than men, some of these polymers and these fatty things and can attach in places and do for different types of cancers of the uterus and other type things. That oh my God, these things are causing unnatural things in our bodies, which is lowering our vibrations, or they're holding back our ability to reach a higher frequency. They are obstructing our energies. And because it's some kind of weird polymer, some of these things actually have a negative charge to them. And you say, oh, David, plastic. I've been down in the rivers and the swamps. And there's a lot of places just like, okay, I can't figure out how plastic bottles find each other in the river, but they will. And they cling together, and 2 or 3 bottles and a couple of leaves and a stick create a small island, and that will attract more plastics and things. It's unreal. I've got videos of it somewhere. I want to go back down in the river too and find out how the ecology's been doing since we haven't had any decent rain down here in a while, and the rivers don't want to flow right. But another story. Why the plastics, Dave? Why am I bringing this up about cosmic energy? Well, how did I get 3 times the thing? Well, if you followed my videos at all, you know I'm always talking about kindness, compassion, integrity, and honor, and and sharing, and we can't take it with us, and greed. If we're being greedy and you want to go to heaven, sorry, that it just isn't going to work. And it's not because of the greed itself; it's because it's the wrong frequency. Let's just boil this down to frequencies. And if you watch me or any other folk, it is all about frequencies. Love is a very high, good, woo, laughter, especially good laughter. There's nothing like a good joke than a good belly guffaw. And so it's like, all right, here we are. Now, we've got all these energies in the universe that are changing. And up until, let's see, Tuesday afternoon, we were in a pretty good high. Over the weekend, we were in a pretty good high fluctuation with the Schumann resonance and a lot of electromagnetical stuff going on. Not necessarily from the sun, mind you, but from the universe and the cosmos. Now, I've gotten 3 confirmations. Actually 4, but 3 good ones. From sources that I check on the internet and here and there, whatever, right? And these are valid sources I've been watching now for 5 years. And, okay, the biggest thing that has been wrong has been the dates. Now, with that said, the events that have been described over the past 5 or 6 years through these particular folks that I've been following, only the time has been wrong, not the events. The events have all occurred. It's just when they happened. So keep that in mind. Now, so when I started putting out stuff 10 days, roughly, speaking on particular issues about frequency and about how, if you've got compassion, but, how to get that frequency, and that, how to achieve that frequency, and by dropping religion and other things, go straight to the source, go straight to creator. Understand you are an angel. We are all angels. Just that, it's really simple, but get it. I mean, all the religions discuss our spirit, our soul, our karma, whatever it is. So, all of them except, atheists, and even atheists, some of them believe in a higher spirit, not necessarily a God, but a higher spirit. Okay. So a bunch of folks on this planet believe in something other than ourselves, believe that we can achieve this other self somehow. I mean, even Luciferians believe it in a higher being of self. It's just misdirected and kooky, crazy, believe it at that. So all of them, any kind of religion, cult thingy, whatever, it's all about changing some type of frequency. Either lower, Satan, Lucifer, blah, 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 okay. Or God, Christ, Buddha, whoever. Creator. What's plastic got to do with this? That's because it's an awareness. Are you aware that every time you drink out of one of these containers, that you're putting these things into your system that may very well not ever come out, and could very well, these polymers, because they're unnatural, they are going to affect you. It's just how much. How much do you ingest? How much can your body tolerate these things? I mean, people talk about chemtrails, and they're drinking out of plastic bottles 10, 12 of these things a day. And they're bitching about the chemtrails. Do you know what you're putting in your body with the plastics that you're ingesting? Do you have any clue? No. Because you've said, that's stupid science. That's an idiot. It's conspiracy theory. So you can talk about light working. You can talk about higher meditation. You can talk about all these things. But when somebody says that you're ingesting plastics every single time you drink out of a plastic, I don't care what container it is. I don't care what the substance is. You are ingesting tiny molecules of these polymers, and your body hates them. I don't have kidney issues anymore. The cysts and things that were there, I treated them with Mullion, and I stopped using plastic. Yeah, okay, I'll get a drink sometimes when I can't find an aluminum can. And aluminum cans have a small coating of plastic in them. So I even stay away from these now, too. If it's not in glass, I choose not to drink it. Now, I don't have kidney problems anymore. My urology issues, my kidney issues, my bladder issues and my kidney issues. Now I'm 66, so I dribble a little. Old folks do that. That's just because I'm 66. But my bladder, I have more control over my bladder now than I did a few years ago when I started doing this research, and I made a conscious decision. Oh, crap. I get it. And my spirit was telling me, every time you pick that bottle up, Dave, Hawkeye, are you getting it? Well, yeah, but it's just one. Dave, you get slapped around a little bit. Do you know what these things are doing to you? No, well, it's just one. Well, I only drink a couple a month. But do you know, in the grand scheme of things, how much you're adding to the whole? Even though I recycle, even though I do all these other things, the fact that just 1% of those plastic whatevers make it into the system. Plastic never goes away. It just gets smaller. It just gets smaller. The sun breaks it down. It never goes away. It's a polymer. It's fake. It's not natural. But it will bond or try to bond with natural things, and it creates sores. It creates lesions. Fish try to breathe it in their gills. It kills them. I mean, it's horrible. What has that got to do with you and me? What's that got to do with the cosmic today, tomorrow, the next day? People are going deep inside themselves. They're forgiving themselves for past things. They're forgiving other people who've done them harm, which is all really good. But some folks I'm watching, and I'm watching with concern. Because what has this got to do with Dave? Nothing. What do I gain out of this? Nothing. Really? I mean, I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to make you aware of these things on a molecular level, on a subatomic nano quantum thingy, because this is where we're headed. We're here, right around the corner. If your body's filled with polymers that are negatively charged or no charge at all, and they're making your joints and you're doing this. And I mean, 8 months ago, the arthritis in my hands was so bad. And I realized that even though I was limiting my sodas, there's plastic in the soda can. As I went even deeper into stopping polymers into my system, my hands have gotten better. Have I done anything else? Not really. I've stayed away. I've cut down on how much milk/calcium is my intake. I've cut back on a couple of other things. But when I think about what plastics and what these polymers are doing inside the body and what they have done to people, I think to myself, oh my God, this is information I need to share with folks. Because people are having issues, and it's like they're doing all these wonderful holistic things, and they're still having issues. And I'm looking around going, wait a minute. I live down here in the woods, and yeah, I'm a hermit. Yeah, I live naturally, and yeah, I dug my own well, and I got my own well. Yeah, all these things. But I look around and go, wait a minute now, but there are other people who are, now I don't follow them around, so I don't know for certain. That they're like, oh, I'm trying to be good. Yeah, but they're going out to things, and I see pictures of them, and here, I'm not trying to beat anybody up. Okay, I'm just saying they're carrying around a plastic bottle, water bottle. Oh, and they got one in their back pocket. And you see them, then they'll go to some place and they'll drink it. They're good about it. They put it in the receptacle, but then they go get another plastic container. And at any event, they'll drink 3, 4, 5 of these plastic containers. And every time, whether it be water or soda or whatever's in this, whatever beverage is in the plastic, it's picking up the polymers and they're going into your system. Period. You can argue with me all you want. And if you're willing to argue with me, then you're never going to get my point here. Because you have to understand there are things on such a tiny scale that is affecting the whole. There's plastic everywhere. It's plastic inside this aluminum can. I mean, I can literally, the acid on my hands, I can literally, if I hold that telephone long enough and my hand sweats, the acid in my hands will actually take off some of the polymer off of that phone and it will transfer into my skin. Now, because it's in my skin, it won't go much deeper. But the point is, it can be absorbed up to a point into my skin because of the acidity and so forth and the chemical reactions of our bodies with these plastics. Oh, man. Dave, you're full of shit, right? Okay. Don't believe me. You think this is stupid. Okay. But it's not, because it's interfering with your reception to the quantum. Now, I'm being asked right this minute. You gotta explain to folks. This is a spiritual warfare. I'm listening. What has been deemed to us, like religions and politics and other things, oh, it's safe. Like everything else they tell us, it is safe. It's not. There are things that we can do in our lives. You can find stainless steel containers. And if, like for me, when I lost my, $750 a week job, and I went to $750 a month, which is about what happened. I looked around and said, wait a minute, I can't afford to buy a drink at the store when I go to town. I can't afford to buy a soda. So I was depressed. I was pissed, you name it. And then I realized, hold on. I got perfectly good water here at the house. All right. So what do I do? I planned. So I got a couple of stainless steel, which is good stuff. Spend a little money and get the better quality stainless. But anyway, even the stainless that rust, which means it's not very stainless, even the rust is good for you. So don't worry about it. But if you're using any kind of plastic container, if it's a plastic anything, even styrofoam, it would off gases. I know they don't tell you this stuff, but it's true. And any liquid in styrofoam or plastic is going to suck off molecules and parts of the polymers inside it. They're going to tell you it's safe. Oh, but it's just a little. But the thing is, it doesn't matter. It's cumulative in our bodies. It adds up. It hides itself in fatty tissues. It hides itself in our arteries and with the cholesterol. People are like, ooh, cholesterol. No, quit drinking out of plastic anything. You're ingesting more stuff that is making the cholesterol bad. Okay? Oh, bullshit. Well, hang on. Do you really understand what these plastics are doing? I don't think so. Because if you did, you wouldn't still use them. You would give them up like I have. Now, like I said, there are times I can't get around it. You just got to do it. Okay. But I understand that I'm like down to 1% of the plastics I used to use by choice. And when I looked around, I was like, well, I bought a couple of stainless steel, like uh, canteens, or you can get the screw on mugs, I guess, like a thermos. Okay, those are good. Now they do have a rubber plastic kind of, but that's different. It's not off gassing plastic. So get a couple of thermoses, throw some ice in there and some water, and tote it around with you. You got fresh water that you know is filtered your way, and it's in a container that's not going to off gas any kind of nanoparticulates that are going to accumulate in your body. Oh, gee, how hard is it? It takes a little bit of planning. And once you get used to it, and once you see what's going on, the only time you'll stop and get a drink from a store is when you absolutely run out. Like I've even gone to like, well, you know what? I'm not going to die in the next 30 minutes. I'm thirsty, but I'm not going to die. I'm going to wait till I get home. I'm not going to stop at the store and buy a plastic bottle for a drink when I know I'm going to ingest this stuff. And I wait 30 minutes. I'm not dead, and I get home and I drink it then. My kidneys have straightened out. My bladder is straightened out. I don't have the issues I used to have. What did I do different? I cut down, obviously, on my soda drinking, but I changed the vehicle that I'm using. I got rid of most of my plastic cups in the house. I got glass. I got stainless steel. I've got old porcelain kind of, stuff. I've got glass, porcelain, ceramic. Okay, but to the point. Yeah, I got a plastic cup here or there, but not like I used to. I mean, I used to have them stacked up, big tumblers. I'm down here in the South, but iced tea's a big thing. A tumbler this big that'd hold half a gallon of tea. Whoo, that was for me. But even those glasses, the tea glasses, all that. Now they're better than other glasses, but I digress. Every single plastic container is going to come off in your food. The plate, the plastic forks, if it's plastic, it's going to off gas somehow in your food, in your water, in your drink, in your beverage, and end up in you. And it does not come out easy. What's they got to do with this cosmic 3 times? Because 3 times, this stuff is going to hold our frequency down. That's one. Second thing, these plastics and polymers, a lot of them have a negative charge to them simply because they're unnatural to our bodies. And our bodies tend to always trying to find that balance. But if you put a polymer in there that doesn't belong in our system at all, and then it's trying to naturalize itself to your body, that creates a negative entity in the system. So everybody's trying to raise their vibrations and drinking plastic, which is keeping it down. Okay. Third thing, you got to think about Mother Earth. Because if you understand Mother Earth, that she's alive and she's a being and spirituality and so forth, and that is a part of this cosmic awakening. It's a part of us understanding this quantum. But now if you look at a plastic thing and go, I recycle. But what about the 1% that gets away? If in a perfect society, 1% is like an acceptable margin of error. 1% scrap, 3% scrap. I've been in, industrial engineering, and so it's an acceptable level. 1 to 3% scrap, you're doing great. Anything above 3%, So even in business, no matter how strict they are, there's going to be 1 to 3% scrap. So you look at the recycling business. Is everything getting recycled? No, because there's a 1 to 3% thing written into the business models. It's there. It happens. It's like part of the nature. No matter how closely you try to keep it, there's going to be 1 to 3% of some kind of scrap. Okay. All right. So you think, well, I'm recycling. I threw it away and they'll recycle it later. What if they don't? What if it gets out of the garbage can? What if it gets into the stream? And I mean, like, side of the road, into a ditch, down into a river, stream, and ends up wherever. Now it's in the stream. It's in the ecology. And unless somebody goes and picks it up, it ain't never coming out. The sun will change it, but the polymers never leave the ecosystem. They're always there. So over the last 10 years of billions of tons of plastic, if 1% gets away, which I'm just going to say 1% of a billion is like maybe a million. Okay, what if it's only 100,000 tons? We're talking worldwide that gets into the system simply because 1% is acceptable, and it's like there. It just is, because you can't get it all. I don't care how good you are, and that I'm being honest and fair, and that's reality. So 1%. So for every drink you drink in a plastic container or any type of plastic that you use, 1% of what you hold on to is going to make it back into the ecosystem where it's unnatural. Some of those polymers, because your sweat, your thirst, you ingest it, is going to be inside your body. And it's going to have adverse effects on you. It's going to lower your vibration. It's going to keep you from maintaining a level vibration because of outside energies and because of different electromagnetical type things and the earth and, the universe. It's bouncing off all these little particles and nanoparticulates in our systems. It's in our brains. It's in our cholesterol. It's in our fatty cells. And I spoke about this earlier about, I have wonderful friends of mine who have fat that refuses to leave their bodies. It's in their arms. It's in their butt. It's in their legs. They exercise. They eat as best as possible. But they drink out of plastic containers 8 to 10 times per day. Oh, this is water, plastic container. Oh, it's just a soda, plastic container. Oh, it's a diet soda. Well, that just makes it even worse because all the stuff in diet sodas will cling to your, oh my God. So I look at my dear friends who have been dieting for 20 years. And I mean, seriously, and, money on this and that and the other thing. And this fat refuses to go because of the polymers. It's stuck in there. And I try to explain to them, hey, the only way to get rid of that is to go to a surgeon and have them liposuction it out of you because it's not leaving. And I've told some of my friends, I love them, I pray for them, but they are wasting energy and time because it's never going to leave them. And I mean, they've got like 50 pounds of this stuff that they're carrying. Easy. Now, I bring this up because we're all trying to get to the heaven. We're all trying to get to the higher level, at least folks who stop by and see me. And I really do appreciate your time that you spend with me. And I don't mean to offend anybody, but there are going to be people who are going to argue this point with me and have. And I've tried to, all right, I'm just going to shut up about it. But I have to bring it back up because what we eat, what we do is affecting us as a whole. And I like I said, I'm an observer. I look at what's going on and I go, well, why are these people still having problems? These folks should be so high on the plateau of stuff, but then they're carrying around these plastic water containers all the time. And, well, I'm drinking mineral water. Yeah, but it's in a plastic container. Well, yeah, well, I'm taking this, this liquid supplement in a plastic bottle. Stay away from plastic. If it's in plastic, forget about it. Now, if it's there are things like iodine, and which I'm still a little on the fence about. But Alcohol, for example. Yeah, okay, rubbing alcohol. I'm not going to drink it. But, peroxide, these things are in plastic containers. Now, I can't vouch for how many polymers are coming out, but I'm not going to drink it. I'm going to use it to close a wound. Now, could some of those polymers get into my skin, into the wound? Yeah. But I'm going to do these other things to correct that. This is just to wash it off. So alcohol and peroxide, some things like that. It's like, yeah, you can't get away from the plastic container. I can't find an alternative. But those are the types of things I will allow. And I can use that kind of plastic. Those are like heavy duty plastic. Well, anyway, it's a different structure than the carbonates and things that they use for sodas. Now, I did a great bunch of research back in the day on how to recycle plastics. Now, I had a friend of mine who, and we hadn't spoken in a while, but that is what it is. Folks just don't want to go along with this higher vibration thing, and that the spirit and the fact that we are all angels, and that is important. And what you bothering with that, Dave? Well, I'm sorry, but right now and for the last 7 or 8 years, this has been like the thing for me. Well, actually, it's more like 10 years, but really strong for the last 5, 6 years. Really strong. Focused intent. So knowing what I know about chemistry and all of the things that I went back to and learn about different types of plastics and how to melt them, blah, blah, blah. The fact that I was in the business of melting plastic, using plastics as molds and things in machining processes that I knew and worked with. So I knew enough, do some more studying, do some chemical analysis, do a little bit of testing here at the house, melting different plastics, see what would happen. Trying fire, trying this. Then I started realizing that plastics, they've got their thing. They're good for like the outside of a cell phone or something like that, or a house phone, or this computer's made with plastics and polymers and things. Okay, but I'm not going to eat it. Yeah, all right. When I turn this computer in or whatever, the plastics, they really should be recycled. And we could do a better job as a society, I'm telling you. But it's not economically viable. It costs too much money. Yeah, but it'll cut back on our goal. Why? You're paying the CEO $3.4 million, but you can't spend $1 million in the factory to recycle these plastics and reuse them and turn these same polymers back into another thing that's useful in the plant. Instead, you got to pay the CEO an extra $1 million because he saved money by not recycling. I'm telling you, that's what they do. Oh, he saved his money. Yeah, because he found somebody to take away the shit for nothing. Oh, they dumped it. He don't care. It's not on the property anymore. So they give the CEO another $1 million. Oh, good job. When they could have paid that CEO half as much, spent $2 million on recycling all of that stuff, none of it would have went to the landfill. All of it would have been repurposed and reused, and the environment would have been 99% cleaner, because there is 1% that's going to get away. No matter what, it's going to get away. I mean, like as a mechanic, we used to do this thing like 1 drop of oil on the floor would cost you 30 minutes of cleaning because it hit the floor and got absorbed into the concrete. And so some of us started using cardboard. That's not the point. The point of the matter was not to drip 1 single drop of oil when changing oil in a vehicle. Oh my God, is that so hard? I'm talking about not 1 drop that lands on the engine anywhere. It's impossible. I mean, there's going to be a drip. So no matter how good you are, no matter how patient, no matter what, 1% of each quart of oil that goes in, there's going to be a drop comes off. And it's going to come off of the engine somehow and end up on the street in eventually in the stream, back in the water. It's going to happen. And it does all the time. Plus leaking and yeah. But to the point, as a mechanic, there were those of us who are like, we don't want anything, we took pride in our work. We didn't want the oil to hit the engine and cause smoke, whatever. I just didn't want to drop any oil. Impossible. You always had to wipe a little up with a rag or a towel or something. There was always some that you had to wipe up. Same thing with the plastics. Same thing with a lot of other things. What's that got to do with us and our quantum? I'm going to go back to this and stick with it. It has to do with looking at your own vibration. It has to do with your self-awareness. Are you aware that this actually has a bigger consequence? It's just a plastic thing. All right, sure. But for every person on this planet that just says, oh, it's just a plastic bottle, they're ingesting it. They're passing it into the ecosystem. They're passing it into animals, other vegetation. Well, vegetables don't take it up. They just grow around it, but that's another story. The fact that it's getting in our bodies and not coming out, because most people don't think about what it's doing to them. If you look inside yourself and say, okay, body, I'm going to do a self, what's wrong? All right. So meditate yourself. Are plastics harming me? That's a simple question. And meditate on it. Are plastics harming me? Am I drinking too, just simple question. And I guarantee you might have nightmares over what might come out of that one. Maybe, maybe not. And maybe your spirit won't tell you a daggum thing. Maybe you're already out of frequency and out of phase because there's already too much of this stuff in you. What can you do? Stop using plastic. Why? Now, I don't mean plastic utensils, but, if you're using a plastic spatula or something, go to steel. Really, go to metal. And if you're using a non-stick pan, throw it away. If there's any kind of surface something on a pan that you use, throw it away. Use cast iron, period. You can find cast iron, all kinds of stuff. Now, I learned how to cook on cast iron 40 years ago or more. I've got my pots and pans to the point where they never go in the sink. And they're clean. But they are seasoned. When you season cast iron, all it takes is a drop of oil. And it'll because it's already got a sheen on it. It's already been the oil is cooked into the cast iron. And as long as you don't put water and wash that cast iron, it will keep that black, which is good. It'll keep that texture and a little sliver of butter. I'm talking about just so minute, it just will puddle up on the bottom of the pan. Will cook what you need. And if you're careful, keep the heat down. You won't burn anything. You can fry stuff with a little bit of oil, and it comes out tasting so good. But never stick it in water. Never. Wipe it out, add a little more oil, heat it back up, wipe it out the excess again, and let it sit. That's it. Now, the food tastes better. You won't get any of these other things that are coming off these nonstick pans and stuff. I mean, I used to use them even when I had cast iron. But then when I found out what these the things that were coming off on these nonstick pans, unbeknownst to us, because as you were heating it up and stirring it around, these little polymers were getting into your food and getting into your system and compounding our issues. Hey, Mr. Wade, how are you? Oh my goodness. Wow. Let's see, 3. It must be about 12 o'clock your place. Hey, Wade. I see it's 3:18 here. 3, 2, 1. At 1 o'clock, maybe your time. Anyway, hi Wade, how are you? I'm on a tirade about plastics, but it's not about the plastics. It is, but it isn't. It's about the simple fact that there are so many people that are trying to focus on the goodness inside and so forth. They're missing the boat. There are things that they should be aware of. 118, yeah, okay, I was close. But you can meditate on all these wonderful things. But if you're missing the boat on something like the plastics and some of these other things that are in our foods, that are in our bodies, that are in our systems, and some of these things ain't coming out of us. Now, like I stated before, I've cured my kidney issues and most of my bladder issues. I'm 66 and I'm going to dribble a little, period. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be graphic, but that's the way it works. Now, I'm listening for a second. It's important that using the plastics as an example. These things are happening on a nanos type thing. We're breathing nanos in. So people bitch about the air and then drink carcinogens in a water bottle. And not just once, but all day. They won't go over to a water fountain and drink out of it. That water might be tainted. Okay, so there you have other choices. It's just whether or not you choose to use them. Like stainless steel, like a glass lined or something. Thermos jugs with, 2 or 3 thermos jugs packed with ice. I don't care. You put the lid on them, you're going to have good, clean, cold, most of the time, cool, cold water. Just by making your own ice cubes and packing them in a thermos. I mean, there are ways to get water and take it with you. Oh, but it's inconvenient. Well, I'm so sorry. And then die of this shit and quit complaining to me. Well, what am I going to do? I can't get rid of these. Well, you're not looking at things on the quantum. You're saying, society says, it's okay. Go ahead. But is your body saying that? Ask your spirit. If you ask your spirit's going to say, please don't pick up another plastic bottle. Please throw away that plastic cup. Please get me a real cup, a glass one or something else, stainless, anything. Please throw that plastic away. Your body will tell you. It told me. But you got to listen. And you have to say, hey, wait a minute. You know what? There is science that proves this. Otherwise, I wouldn't be speaking about this. I would, but in a different term. But there is a lot of scientific evidence about this. But people just don't care. Oh, it's a little bit. But you don't understand how it accumulates. And how much this accumulation, especially for folks in my age bracket, and like I have stated, friends of mine who can't get rid of fat that will not go away. You can't exercise this stuff off. And I just sit back and I look at my friends and I go, you won't give up the plastic bottle though, will you? Nope. I don't see anything wrong with plastic. Nope. Live my life with the plastic bottle in my hand. And they do. They're surrounded by plastic bottles. And I'm like, okay. I got my coffee cup. And it's ceramic. I used to have plastic. Why is this important now? Because you need to focus on all things quantum, all things small that relate to the bigger picture. And I've been trying to explain to folks that, you want to sit under a tree and meditate, then ask the tree. Well, that's bullshit. Why should I ask a tree? Well, see, if you don't understand that all things deserve respect, then you're not going to get it. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude to anyone, but you have to be respectful. Now, plastics are not respectful to us. They are quite the opposite. We should, hang on a second. Let me read what you got. We should get together and have a chat one night soon. I get the BP free bottles. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Wade. They're lying to you. even BPA, yeah, even the BPA, all plastics, even certain rubber containers, all off gas, all of them. They just off gas smaller than the other ones do, but all plastics off gas, period. I worked in the industry. I've seen it, smelled it, watched it. All plastics are bad. If you're drinking or eating from a utensil, regardless of the plastic, you're getting it. Now, you might be getting less of it, but you're still getting it. It's a fucking lie about, oh, that plastic's okay. It's not. I'm sorry. I used the F word. I can't believe I did that. But it is. It's an effing lie. Oh, BPA is okay. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No. And there are so many other easier alternatives. You got to just look around. People are like, oh, plastic bags versus this or that and the other thing. Okay, look around. There is a different choice. Okay. I mean, even these cans have plastic linings in the damn things, but they spray it on, and it's a plastic that they're using. They're using a sugar sucrose base, which is, it's like a fake plastic. Interesting, but it will break down over time. It's like you can get plastic bags. They're eco bags. Now, get this. If you take the plastic bag and put your garbage in it, the garbage bag will deteriorate, but the garbage inside won't. So you use a plastic bag, which is, I'm all for this, by the way, except you're putting garbage in that plastic bag that's going to deteriorate with stuff that ain't. It's just like ironic. You know what I'm saying? So look at these things from a quantum level, from a nanoparticulate. Anybody who says, oh, there's nothing coming up this plastic is a moron, because it's plastic. That's what it does. Everything, even aluminum, will off-gas particulates. Very minor, nano, but aluminum gives it off. And when you cook it and okay, and you're ingesting this. All right. And they're trying to tell you, especially if you have one of those, I don't care what kind of plastic it is, if it sits in the sun for just a little bit and it heats up just a little bit, it's off-gassing. I don't care what it is. It's off-gassing. And I'm on the, Wade, I'm with you, man. I try to use these other, but when I turned to my spirit said, Dave, you got to cut this shit out. And when I did, my other issues started going away. My arthritis has gotten better. I didn't even think about my arthritis getting better, but about a year or so ago, I was having trouble just grasping. I woke up in the middle of the night. My hands are like, oh, and I was taking really good drugs at the time. And I'm like, oh, I can't. I would wake up in excruciating pain. And then I started looking at I was told, look at what you're doing. Look even closer, Dave. And when I started looking closer, I was like, ooh, that's got, ooh, and that's, oh, and that's I was like, what the hell? I'm going to go ahead and use that thing, whatever. Well, what are the consequences? We have to look at our lives, what we do, what we say, how we say it, how we treat each other with integrity and compassion. But at the same time we do these outward things, we're still drinking out of a plastic bottle. What? We're still ingesting these nanoparticulates. What? But you want to be a higher being, right? Yeah. Then why do you continue to ingest these things? It's your choice. Do what you got to do. But I'm here to tell you that it's not spiritually good. Those things have a negative charge. They are affecting us on a nanoparticulate level, and we are trying to our best to rid our bodies of these nasty, vile, unnatural things. And when people think, oh, this one's okay, you're being lied to again. Oh, this plastic's all right because we said so. No, what they lied to you about is it off gases less than the others. It's the best alternative. Screw me. You know what I'm saying? They're lying to us. You can't heat up food like a can of beans anymore because of the plastic linings they have now. I know it's an old hobo. You know, we got cans and put them on the fire, just open the top and the baked beans was warm in a few seconds. Yeah, you're right. You can't do that anymore because of the plastics inside. It's horrible. It really is. It's horrible. I mean, I can even taste. There's one particular brand of pork and beans I love. Oh man, I think I can't even tell you right now. But because my meals are so short, almost everything is plastic or part plastic now. Exactly. I mean, there's plastic inside this damn can right here, you know? Now, like I said, it's a different type and it's a sprayed liquid thingy and it's a sucrose corn based, but it's still there. Now, it's better than these other alternatives. However, let's get down to the nuts and bolts of this. It has to do, I'm going back to the quantum thing. We're paying attention to all these other things in our life, but we're skipping over some of this stuff that's really important because we're just led to believe that, oh, it's okay. Oh, well, that little bit ain't going to hurt you. But it is. And I'm being hammered right now. Today, I was like, oh, I ain't got nothing to say the last couple of days, you know, kind of quiet on the home front. And now it's like, today hit me. It was like, as I'm looking around at other people, you know, going to the different rallies. I mean, you know, I'm thinking in terms too of going to a powwow. Well, it's hard to carry water around, so yeah, the Native Americans are walking around with a plastic bottle, you know, with water in it because it's convenient. I understand, I get it, but when people have an alternative and they refuse to look at it, sometimes you don't have a choice. If I go to a powwow and I run out of my own water, I'm going to go get some in a plastic bottle. I'm just going to have to do it. But I'm going to also take enough with me that maybe I will have my own water. I will plan for it. Other people don't. They just don't give a shit. Oh, I'll buy it when I get there. Well, you don't know how long that water's been sitting there. You don't know how, there's no best used by. For every single day that water sits in that plastic, it's absorbing. I don't care. You know, you say, well, it's not very much. It's not the point. Everything is cumulative in the human body. Plastics are the bitch to get out. So, I'm going to get off of that about how it won't come out of us. Now it's that these plastics have a negative charge. Now these plastics, depending on how much is in you, are going to reverberate or not the positive energy that is us. It's unnatural to ourselves. Yeah, okay, our meat bags are just here for a little while and we should be worrying about our spirit. But if something in our bodies is slowing down or stopping our frequency from rising, because part of the thing I'm looking around and watching other people, I'm like, well, wait a minute, I seem to have passed them somehow. I'm over here looking back and they're still preaching and talk about, I've talked about this before. Some of the gurus that I've had over the years are like, these people are spouting off, I don't know what it is. But when I look at them, a lot of them have a plastic container sitting beside their computer, or they're swigging out of plastic somethings. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, what's the difference with those folks who I still look up to, but I'm like, I don't understand why they're like stuck. Maybe it's the fact that there's plastic in their systems. Maybe it's the fact that these nanoparticulates And I don't care. Argue with me all you want to, but that's your choice. But I'm here to tell you, no plastic is safe when it comes to food, period. It's just a lesser versus greater. That's all. So now that you know this information, are you going to take it and go, now this is a rhetorical question. Say, for example, I'm going to cut my plastic intake, meaning I'm going to look for cans at least, which is a better alternative, mind you, because of the type of plastic that they use is more plant-based versus the regular plastics. I mean, even my medicines, because they're medicines, pick up the plastics on the inside of here. Even medicines, holistic medicines, plastic bottles, find it in glass. It goes back to the quantum. Now, it's also very spiritual, because if you listen to this, then you understand that the plastic molecules never go away and are always in the ecosystem. Then why would you ever use plastic again? If you know that 1% is going to get away, and it does, and you know that plastics never change, they just get smaller unless they're burned or something else. If you know these things, then why would you continue to use them? Simply by ingesting this stuff. But also, if you love Mother Earth and you love this and you want to change so if you are doing these other things and you pick up another damn plastic bottle, you're a hypocrite. I'm sorry. Now, are there times when you have to? Yes, I just stated that. If I go to a powwow and I run out of water and all they got is bottled water, blah, blah, okie dokie. But I understand it going in. I mean, there's a powwow in 3 months. I'm going to get my containers ready and have my own water ready, and I'll give it free to other people if they will not use a plastic container, or at least reuse a plastic container. Take a thermos, get water from someplace. But if you refuse to, that's bullshit, Dave, then you're not getting it, because it is on a molecular level. We are dealing with the quantum here, and these things are in us on a quantum nanoparticulate way. Ignore it? Okay. All you good light workers out there and everything, it's really important that you understand this, because it has to do with Mother Earth. And if you turn your back, plastic, it'll get recycled, then you're disrespecting Mother Earth. You're disrespecting the mother who's trying to support you, because you just said, what the hell? What the hell? And I'm speaking more about people, friends of mine, who will drink only bottled water out of plastic containers, who go through cases of bottled water a week, and all these cases of plastics and cases of wrappings and cases of crap are going right back into the system, into the crap system. Okay. They're not being recycled. They're going into the garbage, and they're getting redone, and it's going right back into the ecosystem. But these people are spiritual beings. Oh yeah, they meditate. Oh yeah, they help each other. Oh yeah, but they still don't get it, and we need to. It's that important. It is. And I'm sorry, I'm on this thing about flipping plastic, but it has to do with you understanding. When I understood it years ago, simply from the 1% that got away into the ecosystem, I looked at it from that standpoint and went, shit, we got millions of tons per year that are getting away because it's part of that 1%. That is unacceptable to me. But if I quit using plastic bottles, that's okay. But if I was drinking one bottle a day of something in a plastic container, so that's 365 bottles empty that I used if I only drank one a day per year. 365 bottles. Now, 1% of that would be like 3.5, roughly. So okay, let's just say three bottles of plastic make it somehow into the ecosystem. It flew off of the back of a truck. It fell out of a garbage can. It ended, whatever. So my 3 bottles, if I just 1 bottle per day for 1 year, so my 3 bottles with the other 30,000 people that live in my county, and if each of them only had 3 containers, 30,000 times 3 is 90,000. So 90,000 bottles, plastic, 1%, made it into the ecology. Three times 30,000, 90,000 bottles, empty plastic containers that make it into the ecosystem because it's the 1% that doesn't make it back or gets out of the garbage can. Whether it gets recycled or not, it gets out of the system and into the ecosystem. Now, that's just here in Moultrie, my county, roughly 30,000, just giving you a ballpark figure. Now, there are several counties around here with roughly 30,000 people. So we've got 90,000 bottles loose in one county in 1 year times 5 counties. Actually, more like 10. So we're talking about 90,000 bottles empty that got loose in a year, 1%, times 10 counties. That's 900,000 bottles. Holy crap. And that's just in South Georgia. That's 1%. That's just 1% that gets loose out of our containment system. And nobody cares. Up, turn a blind eye. It's not coming out of our ecosystem, y'all. So do you care about planet Earth the way you say you do? Well, you meditate under a tree and you do all these happy things, and then you're consuming plastic out your yin yang and going, it's perfectly fine because I recycle. What about the 1%? Nobody thinks about it. Nobody. I look around and people are like, oh, would you stop it, David? And I go, wait a minute, but you're not, oh, shut up. So it's 1%. Well, but 1% of 1 billion tons a year adds up. And it has added up. There was a great big stream of garbage-filled plastics that went through the straits of Florida the other day. There's, oh my God, the thing in the Pacific is ungodly huge. I mean, there are critters living on a plastic island. But it's okay. We're going to continue what we're doing. We're just going to say, what's 1%? 1% of 1 billion. But you know what? It's not about the 1%. It's about what it is. And it's about the fact that you choose not to include it in your paradigm. That's just a little. It's a lot. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Oh, well, all right, then never mind. Now, I'm going to get off of that. I know it's a little on the weird side, but we're going to think in different terms. It isn't just about the saving it. It's the, wait a minute, stop using it. You can choose a different way. Now, like I said, go to the thing. That's all I got. Okie dokie. But those are circumstances. But for people who are using plastics every single day, like, let me go get another soda out of the refrigerator, and it's plastic, change. If you gotta buy the 2 liter, and that's a lot less plastic per volume, surface area, yada yada. Try to go to aluminum, or try to just figure out something else. Now, I bring this up because I have been watching folks making this change, this awakening change. And I'm absolutely tickled to death. I'm ecstatic. I really am. I'm serious. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. I started out with 8 people, then it went to 10. Then I think maybe 12 people as subscribers. And I told my creator, and I told Mother Mary, that 10 people was all I needed. If 10 people would stop and listen to me, I considered my goal in this fantastic. I got over 100 subscribers. It might only be 101, but that's not the point. I never expected 100 people, ever. I've never asked anyone to share or to like a video. It's up to you. Whether or not this information is pertinent to you, whether it helps you to understand that there are some basic, simple things that are affecting the entire universe. Because, I mean, these plastics, polymers, never go away. So think of the tons and tons and billions and trillions of tons that have been processed since they started using plastic. And those polymers ain't coming out. They're here to stay, period. Now, as long as they're like in the soil and they're inert, they're not really causing much trouble, per se. But when we start ingesting them, when these little tiny nanoparticulates are, from wherever they come from, get into the air, then we breathe these nanos into our nostrils and up into our sinuses, and then we got them back again. People bitching about chemtrails, but they keep putting polymers in their mouth every time they drink out of a plastic container. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. I don't get it. But they're concerned about one thing, but they'll drink out of plastic. I was going to get off this. It's lowering vibrations. It's keeping people from raising vibrations, and it's hurting your bodies. Man. Now, to the good cosmic news. There are over 100 people who subscribe to my channel. Oh my God. In the grand scheme of things, in the last 3 months, I have seen the awareness quotient, if you will. It's a made-up thing by me, but bear with me, please. There is a positive side to this. I've noticed that folks, especially in like Milky Way's chat and other chats, but I'm just using Milky Way as an example right now. Now, I don't get to see the chat, but he does. And we just have an after show, cool down. How many people are against what we're talking about? How many, and it's not a numbers thing. It's like, I want to make sure that I'm reaching folks, that I can speak in such a way that folks understand what I'm trying to explain. What these little nanoparticulates really mean in the grand scheme of the entire universe. It means a lot. So, but I've seen the folks, they're not fighting with each other. The bickering has slowed way down, which I think is great. Now, there also seems like there are certain chat rooms. They've got trolls. I don't care what you talk about. You're not going to please them. They're going to be contrarians. That's okay. But even them folks are like slowing down or disappearing, or in some chats, not existing anymore where there used to always be. I mean, even when somebody wants to bring up like flat earth, okay, you believe in flat earth, I believe in a globe. Let's just leave it at that. I'm not going to tell you you're a moron, and don't you please call me a moron. We disagree, but that's that. Okay, I agree with some of the things you say. Oh, and when you see a ship out on the ocean, it looks bigger, and if the earth was round, blah, blah, blah. Well, have you ever been 2 miles offshore and looked back? Especially down in Florida, you're not going to see the shoreline. So in my opinion, the earth is curved. Ask any real sailor, they'll tell you the earth is curved, because if they could see the horizon, they wouldn't need all the stars and stuff. Anyway, to the point though, fine, we disagree, but I'm not going to hate you for it. And hopefully you won't hate me for it. You believe in flat, I believe in globe. Let's just leave it at that. Does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? Only in our own belief system. It's not going to matter unless we try to leave this place in a spaceship or whatever. But to the point, who cares? If you believe in flat earth, fine. But you can't convince me. And I'm not going to try to convince you because you already believe the earth is flat. So anything I say is just going to be contrary and start an argument with you. So I understand that right from the get-go. But I respect your point of view, and I don't hate you for it. So please, you can disagree with me, but do we have to hate one another? Now, that's the change I've seen. It's like, you know what? We're arguing over bullshit. This is bullshit. And we're arguing over stuff. So I don't believe you. Okay. And you don't believe me. There are things that I agree about the horizon and certain other things. I can agree with that because it's a strange phenomenon type. But I've been up in airplanes. I've been up, and I've seen the curvature of the earth. I'm sorry. It just, when you're up in an airplane at 25 or 30,000 feet or whatever we were flying at all those times, if you look off to the horizon, it ain't flat. Sorry. But we don't have to fight about it. Other things too. You can disagree with me on this plastic thing. Fine. But are you listening to the bottom line of what I'm trying to say about this? Bottom line is there are nanoparticulates. There are minuscule things in our system right now that is very unnatural. We are all trying to become more natural beings, but yet we keep ingesting unnatural items. People bitch about Monsanto, but they drink out of a plastic water bottle constantly. So it's like, why are you complaining about that, but you fail to miss the boat on this? Woo, I'm eating all these organic foods and you're drinking water out of a plastic bottle. Do you not see the irony in this? I do, but okay. Do you not see the heresy? Okay. Do you not see the stupidity? Okay. The cosmos right now. We went through a really heavy duty upswing over this last weekend. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Now the Schumann's back down a little bit towards normal. Still buzzing and banging. We are now in a 60-day window. Actually, it's a 90-day, and I'll explain. For the next 60 days, roughly, all the planets are on one side of the sun. Now, people are calling this an alignment. It's not. It's not an alignment. It's all the wheel weights are on one side of the tire and we're out of balance. But it's not an alignment, okay? It's more of a conflagration, a conglomerate. We're all on one side of the sun for the next 55 days. Now, I say 60 in that Mercury is a small planet closest to the sun, and it's going to come out, it's going to pop out around the side first. But because it's so small, it's going to have the least amount of uh, change differential in how the solar system is acting. Our solar system, our soul, um, SOL, soul. It's important because the next other one to come out will be Venus, or should be. The next one then will be Earth, and then Mars. Okay, because the bigger the planets, the farther out they are, the longer it's going to take for them to not be on the same side. So we're going to circle around and leave Jupiter and Neptune and all them on the other side when we go into winter, right? But we'll have Venus and Mercury and probably Mars towards winter solstice will be on the other side of the sun by then. But it's going to take the next 60 days for the first two planets to come around, and it's going to take a good 90 days for the Earth to make the swing around. So we're going to be off balance really good for the next 90 days. Okay. That's plain, simple fact. Okay. Flat Earth are not all of whatever's up there. They're all on the same side of the sun, regardless of flat Earth or round. Those objects are still, we're all on the same side of the sun. That's okay. You could argue it, but stop it already. What's this got to do with you and me? Simple, really. Are the energies coming up this Friday? It's going to be a full moon. It's also going to be the longest lunar eclipse. It's supposed to last over an hour or something. And I've been trying to put my mind in how can the moon be perfectly lined with the sun for 20 minutes? Okay, because everything's moving. But for over an hour, and it might be like an hour and a half. I can't remember the exact time. Forgive me. But anything over 20 minutes is like a really big deal. This thing's going to go on for an hour or more. What? And that's the total eclipse. That's not from beginning to end, which is going to be like, I don't know, 8 or 10 hours or something, which is astronomically, wow. What's this got to do with us? The energies being played between the Earth, the different planets, and the sun, and the cosmos. This is a big, big, big event. Is the world going to come to an end? I'm not saying that at all. I'm talking from an energy level perspective. Now, it is the Earth, Moon, and Sun alignment, but I'm not speaking about any of the other planets right now. Just this is a big deal. Full moons are a big deal. But the fact that we are going to have a full moon and this really long lunar eclipse is really going to tie this energy into like quantumness. It's good. There are already mass meditations being planned, have been planned since, I don't know, I did a thing about the mass meditation, I don't know, I want to say somewhere around the 11th or something. And I mentioned it then that there was going to be another time at the 27th that there was, with the full moon. I didn't know about the lunar eclipse at the time. Maybe I did, but I didn't realize it was going to be so long. However, so this is all good, positive things now, especially now that we have turned some kind of corner. And like I'm being positive about this. I know I pissed and moaned about the plastic thing, but people are just not looking at it on a molecular level. And this is so quantum. This is so important. You got to understand, okay, I'm back to the plastic thing again, damn it. But with all these other energies coming in, those of us who meditate a lot, and I have the ability to do so, and so I do. But even those who only have short periods of time for meditation, if you can find any time this coming full moon, hopefully if you can time it to having to do with the eclipse, it would even be better. But anytime during this full moon, from the beginning of the full moon, it's usually a 24-hour full moon kind of thing. So anywhere 24 hours on Friday, those of us who are going to be meditating and sending out peace for the planet. Now, Trump's already worked out a deal with Kim Jong-un in North Korea. I don't think we're going to have any nuclear war with them. Trump and Putin met last week. I don't think there's going to be a nuclear war with them. Now, Iran or some stupid person might shoot off one, but are we going to have a nuclear war? All bets are off now. Putin doesn't want war with us. Trump doesn't want war with Putin. The major people, now that we've taken out some of these slime balls, and thank God Clinton didn't make it in, or we'd be in a war right now for real, things are calming down. Peace is being shown upon this earth. Hallelujah, brothers and sisters. It's being seen. Trump and Putin shook hands, went in the back room, had a 2-hour meeting. And there are folks saying, Trump's a moron. He doesn't know anything about the space program or this, that, and the other thing. His uncle knew Tesla. Trump's not as stupid as people are trying to give him credit for. He's got a whole lot more going than folks really know. Now they're saying, he's being manipulated by the higher ups. That's partially true. He's going along with a larger plan. And that larger plan, my friends, is peace on this earth. I used to be a Democrat. I'm apparently a walkaway or whatever. I actually ran from the Democratic Party. But to the point, though, these things are being seen right now. The people who are getting picked up for being pedophiles. I mean, the new one right now is like the pictures Tom Hanks is putting out. What's this with little girls' shoes and the thing and the blah? Are you kidding? But these people who have reached these particular pinnacles in society, in Hollywood, no matter how much we think they're wholesome folk, they got some nasty crap tied to them. Otherwise, they would have never got there. They'd have been whacked. They'd have been, Randy Quaid. Randy? The Quaid brother that went, made the big thing about, star whacking, and the people in Hollywood are getting star whacked, and he knew people and blah, 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 and I think to myself, oh, holy mackerel, Andy, these folks are starting to come out of the woodwork. This is actually a good thing. Why? Because it's bringing peace to the planet. We're getting rid of the pedos. We're getting rid of these folks who think it's okay to have man-boy relationships. Oh, man, how sick that is. No, it's man-boy, man, blah, blah, blah. And then they're trying to come up with another thing. It's like, so grown men are trying to figure out a way to have sex with little boys so they can make it legal and not get arrested and go to jail. When basically all these guys that want to have sex with little boys all need to be in the same jail with no little boys and let them work it out themselves. It's coming to light. The fake news thing is coming out more and more. This is bringing chaos to some, but to those of us who've been waiting for something to happen are sitting back going, oh, thank God. And like Q showed up yesterday after 20 days of being quiet. Oh my God. Just the fact that it came back. Just the fact that there is a positive attitude. Just that the fact that Q showed back up to thumb his nose or her nose at their nose at the mainstream media folk and go, haha, I'm not a LARP. Haha. It's amazing. It's bringing peace to our ranks, to those of us who are like, thank you, Jesus, something's finally happening. I can see things actually, wow, They're taking place. Okay, this is being better and that's being better, and they're not doing that, and this is happening. I've seen much fewer chemtrails this last 6 weeks than I have in the last 6 years. Not to say that they're gone, but they're very few and far between down here in South Georgia for now. I know other people are getting hammered, but it is what it is for here, so I'm grateful. But at the same time, we're getting sprayed with chemical things down here because there's peanut crops and cotton crops, and oh my God, in another month they're going to start defoliating the cotton, and that's worse than any years of chemtrails we get in 1 month down here with the spraying for the defoliant. Think Agent Orange. Oh, it's not as bad, they say, but we still have to ingest it, breathe it, drive by it, live it. It's horrible down here. 6 to 8 weeks out of the year during cotton season. Sucks. Just saying. Because of the spray. Because they can't wait for the leaves to fall off. Because they want to collect the cotton when they want it, not when the cotton's ready. Oop, still got leaves. Okay, so every piece of cotton that is collected in the United States have these chemicals in the cotton, on the cotton, defoliant. Yeah, some of it gets washed off and this and that, but I mean, we're stuffing this stuff in our ears. It's going in medicine bottles. It's going in our clothes, but it's been sprayed with an Agent Orange equivalent, and then we wear it as cotton products. Oh my God. Every bit of cotton is sprayed. All of it. Because they defoliate the leaves so they can harvest the cotton. What? People getting rashes from different clothes that they wear? Are they having a reaction to the cotton? It's brand new. They just got it. Oh, yeah, but when was it made, and where did the cotton come from, and which defoliant did they use on the leaves? And, okay, but it doesn't absorb in the cotton, so you say. Oh, and you tell us that the Monsanto is good for us. Oh, and you tell us the chemtrails are to protect us. Oh, and you tell us JFK was killed by a lone sniper. Oh, come on. How much of this do we need to take in? The good news, people are seeing this stuff. Are they being red pilled? Okay, whatever you want to call it. I say that people are starting to pick up on the piece from the rest of us. When we started looking at each other and going, hey, you know, we're kind of arguing over squat here. Wait a minute. Why are you and me arguing? Okay, I agree you have the choice to believe Earth is flat. And if you will, I believe the Earth is round. Can we just agree not to kill each other and fight over this? You believe that, I believe this. And now that's just a simple, okay. But it goes with a lot of stuff. I mean, people are talking about light workers and this and that. Oh, you're wrong and he's wrong and that's wrong. And no, the Andalarians told me and whoever told me and you're wrong. And oh, stop it. I've worked in the factory with different engineers. We all worked on the same company. We all worked on spark plug wires. We all worked on these same machines. But the folks who worked in the Nissan section didn't know what the folks in the Chrysler section were doing. We all worked in the same plant. It was all for the same good. It was all to produce the same types of things, but they were different departments. So the folks in the Chrysler section, 20 feet away, didn't know what the Nissan folks were doing because it was part of a different program under the same corporation. So maybe that's a little oversimplifying things, but people who are working for the same thing don't necessarily know, even though they're all working for the same company, even though it may not be secret at all, it might be that you don't know what they're doing 2 rows over simply because it's just a different department. Doesn't mean that you're stupid or that whatever. Their information is different from the information you have. But you're all working for the same goal. You're all working for the same company. You're all working for the same benefit. You're all looking for the same bonus at the end of the year. You're all working for the same thing. So I disagree with flat Earth. Big deal. We're all working in this together. That's how I look at it. So why should I argue with you? Okay, state your facts. I've listened to them, and I choose not to believe them all. Some of them odd, okay, but to the point. The bottom line is we all wish for peace. So it's flat, so it's round, but we all want peace. That's the bottom line. We all wish to do better. We wish to have a better society. We wish to live without war. We wish to live in peace. Those are our decisions. And when we stop arguing on the petty stuff, earth flat, earth round, that's petty in the grand scheme of things. Let's get peace upon this earth, and then maybe we can all go out in space and find out for ourselves. Okay? Oh shit, it really is round. Oh my God. So I see the change in all of us. I see the conversations changing. I see how people are reacting to each other in chat rooms, on different videos. The arguing is like, the nasty names have like dwindled. Now it's just like, well, I don't care what you want. But, calling people libtards and morons and assholes and, it's calmed down. It hasn't gone away, but it has calmed down greatly. And I do firmly believe it has to do with the few of us on this planet who are pushing, I hate to say it that way, but we're trying to manifest peace. Our goal is, and our intent is to force peace on these buggers, I don't care but we can learn to not kill each other, can't we? We can disagree on a bunch of crap, but we all want to agree on peace. Holy crap, right? So I see positive changes. I see things working. I see it. Now I'm going to come over here and read y'all's remarks. The bottle wall here, you can't get around it. And hey, Marie, how are you? Yeah, but it's a byproduct of petroleum. Actually, it's not really a byproduct, but we won't go there. Yep, we pay for gas in the trash. But the thing is, though, even Wade, and I'm trying to understand that there is 1%, I've worked in all different kinds of manufacturing settings. I've worked in plastics. I've worked making plastic things. Worked there was a company I worked for. It was a short time, but I still worked for them, where they used a blow mold for like plastic milk jugs and things. All right. Now the trick is that no plastic is safe. None of them. They all off gas. They all break down. They all, as a polymer, will refuse to leave this planet. They'll be stuck here forever. And it's the 1%. And 1% is acceptable. I mean, even in my standards, 1% of shit getting out of the stream into nature, if you will. 1% of everything that we produce is going to end up in where we don't want it to go. It's just the numbers. You can't help it. Okay. And no matter how good we do, there's going to be 1%. And I'm here to tell you that 1% is a huge amount. I don't care how good we are. It's still not good. They put a 10% return on plastic bottle and cans here. Not versatile. 25 cents each above a 2 liter. Marie, yeah, I have 102 now. Absolutely, Marie. That's why I'm just like tickled to death. way past my expectations. So far, I don't know if any of them have been trolls because it's like, okie dokie, we can disagree, but we don't have to be buttholes to each other. I mean, seriously, let's have discourse. Our supermarket stopped giving single-use shopping bags. People complain. I thought, gee, it's lack of thoughtfulness to the environment. Oh, you're a flat earther? I see the earth rocks like a ship and spins like a disc as it rocks. It does, but it's a um, um, the earth is out of wobble. Even if it's flat, we're still out of wobble. We're wiggling, but it makes more sense if you think of the earth as a globe. Um, Cloth bags and all that. See, that's all absolutely wonderful, but there's still going to be 1%. And I bet you there's going to be some kind of plastic in that cloth bag of yours because it's just the way society is. So no matter how good we try to be and how positive and everything, the damn plastics are in everything. My point is that there are people who are doing this over and over and over and over and over again and are like, the hell with it. And that ticks me off. Look for more earthquakes and volcanic activity during this time. That's what I'm warning folks about, Wade. The amount of the earth is expanding. And I said this earlier on and in my Facebook 3-hour session I did before I started this 2-hour session. So I've been on the computer for 5 hours doing interview talk, this live stream. And the earthquake activity has picked up in the mid-Atlantic ridge. Now, my sources, my Mother Mary downloads have said, David, when you see them start popping off in the 4.5 and above range, all the way up and down the mid-Atlantic ridge and coming down into towards Antarctica and down to the Sandwich Islands, man, they had another swarm of them down in the Sandwich Islands again in the 5 ranges. There was 2 or 3 of them, plus the one on the Pacific side. But now they're rolling up into the mid-Atlantic ridge again, and they're going off. Boom, 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 boom. So the earth is expanding, regardless of what folks want to tell you about. But it is. The cracks are opening up more. Because all of the planets are on one side of the earth right now. I'm sorry, one side of the sun right now. It's not really in alignment. Everything's lopsided for now. But for the next 90 days, it's going to be wild. We just got to keep up. I've seen photos of Saturn near the moon in the northern hemisphere, which I've noticed. If I measured a centimeter to the moon and Saturn in America, when it's orbited to our hemispheres, Saturn is inch. It'd be near sunrise on our side, so I'd be up at 3 to watch it. Aquarian moon. The sun will be moving into Leo. Just fear mongering. Right. I didn't start with Trump at the very beginning, but I picked up on it. I didn't get it from the U.S., but once it leaves the official U.S. borders, the info becomes open game. Yep. Right. There was supposed to be a lot of information traded between Trump and Putin. The biggest thing is they met and shook hands. That is what was important. The fact that those two men shook hands. Did you notice the moon flip last week, Monday, Tuesday? Even Steve Olson did a video on it with a guy from Calgary here. I didn't see it because we've had a lot of cloud cover down here in Southwest Georgia, and which is a good thing because it's kept the temperatures down. And we've had a little bit of rain, but still, I checked on the way home from the store a few hours ago, and my river is still way low. With all the rain, we've had 8 inches of rain in the last week, and the river has not come up 1 inch. Not one. Now, I don't figure it out. If my garden can get 8 inches in a little old round thingamajiggy, rain gauge, then how come 8 inches doesn't show up in my river? That's like right behind the house. and down the street, it's not there. Oh, I understand about flash floods, Marie. I've been caught on them here on my own property. I almost drowned it twice on my own backyard. And I mean in my backyard, right back here. The water came up so quickly. I had I had my canoe back here tied up, and just went down in the back to get my canoe and pull it closer to the house, and I got hit by a submerged log that rolled me under the water, and it was only like maybe a foot and a half, 16 inches, maybe 20 inches deep, and it damn near drowned me. And I mean, I just right back behind the house, but the water came up so quick, so fast that it topped over the bank at the bridge down here and came straight for my house, right behind my house. And it when people talk about water, this and that, and I have been caught in these flash floods because it happens around here. The interesting thing, though, is we haven't had a flash flood event in over 5 years. And we used to have them 2 or 3 times per year. And it hasn't happened in almost 6 years now. This winter will be the 6th year we've had no flash floods here in South Georgia. And we should, because of the way the rivers and the streams work. It's what they do. They do flash floods. We haven't had any. 8 inches of rain. The river's not even flowing. It didn't even come up to the bottom of the pylons. It's horrible. It's horrible. But I'm noticing, though, that we have more rain. Last year at this time, I was already 4 months in with no rain. And the well was low. And I was already in water shortage. And it was just about the first week of August. We didn't get rain here of any substantial, and I mean like more than like a quarter inch, until January of this year. We went 9 months with less than 3 inches of rain. 9 months. My well was almost empty dry. I was down into the blah, blah, blahs. And even now, with 8 inches of rain, I'm tickled to death. But the river's not flowing. I don't get it. Now, that's how dry the ground is, because it's not even reaching the river. And it's right back here. And everything flows downhill to the river. Now, again, I'm seeing positive changes. Now, I'm not sure about I guess we have just been in a drought and we have for the last 6 years, hardcore. That the groundwater is so dry that it's sucking up the water before it can ever get to the river, which is like weird. I mean, I've lived here almost 40 years, and this is weird. Yep, I've watched the moon roll. Now, I didn't watch it flip, but I have watched it roll, and it's already too low in the southern sky. It should be higher up. Last 2 full moons, I had to lean out and look up at the full moon. Tonight, it was right there. Didn't have to. I actually had to lean back to see it because it was so low in my window right there that I'm always checking with. So there are definitely changes going on. Now, we got to be, if you live anywhere near a damn volcano, whether it's alive or not, be aware. If you live on the coast, 30-foot wave is what is very well could be happening. Now, Marshall Masters and some of these folks and the Nibiru folks, we're going to have 300-foot waves. Now, the Galactics are telling me and other folks, yep, we're going to have some waves. Yep, and it's going to come in some weird places. Yep, it's going to kill some folks. But it's not going to be a 300, 500-foot wave that goes 100 miles inland. They have said that's not going to happen. But a 30-foot wave is very, very possible during the next 9 months, okay? Because of all of this out of whackness, okay? Not to be paranoid, but if you live on the ocean, pay attention. If you hear any kind of warning, any kind of something, now I live far enough inland, it ain't going to matter to me. But if I lived any closer to the coast, I'd be listening to them earthquake warnings because there's going to be another one in the Gulf of Mexico. It has to happen because of everything happening around the Gulf of Mexico. Now, I believe we've already had an incident that USGS refused to post because I saw anomalies, and I even made a video, I think of it, of the weirdness going on in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. There are hot spots, there are things going on. Something weird is going on in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. All I got to say. There are energies coming out from the middle of the Gulf that shouldn't be there. There are signatures and sulfur dioxide, and there was something else in the sulfurish range, which tells me that if it's bubbling up out of the Gulf, then there's a volcano in the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico. Something is off-gassing, and it's bubbling to the top of the Gulf, and then the heat, because it's summertime. The Gulf heats up. It's what it does. But it's also heating up what's in the water so that it's coming out quicker. The heat just makes it rise quicker, blah, 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 blah. But the fact that there is sulfur dioxide in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico all by itself should make you wonder. So if you live on the Gulf Coast at all, anywhere, something's going on in the Gulf. Now, is it going to split apart and go up? I don't know. There's supposed to be a sort of like that happen, but the galactics are trying to keep this stuff to a minimum. However, Mother Earth is expanding and nobody can change that. Creator could, but this is natural. This is what happens to the Earth. It's part of nature, and we are going through it right now. We are expanding. It is expanding, and these are part of the changes. One side of the solar system, all magnetics. I'm sorry. Yeah, I said solar system. Yeah, one side of the sun, solar system. And the fact that we're getting all this galactic energy coming in that I have been showing with the Schumann resonance and stuff, coming in from outer space, the wrong side from the sun. It's coming in from the backside hitting us. Now, these are good things. Why? Because we're here now, okay? And the next 9 months, the next 90 days are what's going to not make or break us. That's not what I mean. If there was going to be a time, Earth change-wise, this is it. This is it. I mean, with all the other stuff going on, all the planets on one side of the sun, all of these things, blah, blah, blah. This, I guess you could say, is the end times. We are here. Because when we start swinging out around this in the next 90 days, everything's going to settle back down. So the Earth is still going to expand some. There's still other changes. But the big type, sure enough, crappy events are going to be minimized. But the next 90 days, we just need to be really vigilant. It could be the end of the world for some of us, especially dumb folk on the beach who just don't give a rat's patoot. And I'm not trying to speak bad about folks, but there's just some folk. Some of these are my family members that I thought had more sense. Are like, Dave, you're just so flipping crazy. I can't listen to a word you say. But I warned you 2 days ago about the Gulf of Mexico earthquake back several months ago. I called a family member and told them, you're on the ocean. Be careful. There's going to be an earthquake. And there could have been a tsunami from it. And thank God there wasn't. And they were fishing on the beach around Fort Walton Beach that day. It was like, thank God nothing happened. But the point was, 2 days after I called a family member was the earthquake in the Gulf, near where I said it was going to be. Thank God there wasn't any kind of tsunami event. But my family members, even when I proved it, like, see, here's the earthquake I was talking about. Well, you were just lucky. I'm lucky a lot in that respect. But what good is it if I try to tell you and say, look, pay attention. I've been right about some things. I'm not perfect, and I'm just saying. Am I a psychic? Am I a whatever? Am I a prophet? I don't know. That's not the point. We are all getting this information. those of us who are tuned into the quantum, we are all getting the same kinds of downloads. That's what the 3X is about. I was speaking on things 2 weeks ago that 3 or 4 different YouTube channels and other channels, radio stations, and things that I listen to came out with almost word for word verbatim some of the exact same things I was talking about. And I went, whoa, you mean I said it before you folk did? Holy crap. And then 3 times, actually 4, but I go with the heavy 3 because these are heavy dutiers that go back 8 or 10 years I've been watching. They confirmed it. They're saying the exact same thing. And I'm not claiming any special powers. I'm just listening. I'm just being aware. That's all. And it's great that 3 other highly acclaimed, by my point of view, came out with, I mean, there were like 3 sentences. I swear to God, I was listening to the Cosmos, but 2 out of the 3 repeated these 3 sentences almost word for word as I described it, about compassion and integrity and honor and blah, 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 and that how much it means right now, and that of all things that are meaningful now, integrity and honor and kindness and compassion are like the top of the list. All other things, forget it. Hoarding gold, worrying about your this or that, forget it. What's important now are these integrity. I mean, what? How many people understand what integrity means right now? I mean, really, integrity. Oh my God. When I think of the things that I've done in my life, in theater and things, my integrity, we had small dressing rooms, and in theater, folks dress and undressing people in front of each other and changing costumes and stuff. But there were men and women, but mostly men, who would leer at them, even though they had a slip on or something. They were like, "Ooh, they want to cop a look. They want to cop a look." And I'm like, "No, get out of my dressing room. Get out of no, My integrity was like, you want to catch a free peep? Get out of my theater. Get out of my show. Get out. And I've had people come back and go, Mr. Dave, of all the things we could do, there were women that said, I knew that I could undress in front of you, and you would avert your eyes. You would look at the ceiling. You would not look at me. And you never creeped around to get a peek. And I could have stared right at them while they were changing and didn't, because I was of a different nature. My integrity said, that's a beautiful woman right there. But I'm not going to sneak a peek because of my own integrity. I'm not going to be immoral. I'm going to maintain the fact that I am a gentleman. I respect her. Why should I gawk at her and whatever? Oh, she's in panties and a bra, changing costumes. Ooh, now's the time to look. Oh, shut up. But that's what I had people tell me. Did you cop a look at such and such? And I'd slap them and go, get out of here. No, because my integrity, my personal view was, I can't do that. I'm not going to do it. And I didn't do it. And now, after 15 years, it's been about 10 years since I've done any shows, I'm having people say, you're the only man director I could really trust, because you would not look at us. You wouldn't sneak a peek. We trusted you, Mr. Dave, dressing and undressing in front of me. They could trust me. They knew that I wanted to be. I am a gentleman. I try to follow that. I don't know. There are friends of mine who are close, but they're perverts in a way, because they might sneak a peek and then turn their head away, but they're gonna peek first and then turn. I would turn my head and say, it's not my place to peek or whatever. I'm not going to be future say somebody, well, that Mr. Dave was kind of creepy about that, and I felt bad about that. No, my integrity then is still working now because these women trusted me then, and they are glad that I am the person that I am, and that I have integrity, and that I kept my integrity. Regardless of them stripping butt naked damn near in front of me, I still gave them the benefit of the doubt. I still treated them with respect, honor, and integrity to themselves because they were willing enough to work with me in a play and so forth. And I could not break that trust. I refused to break the trust. I never broke that trust. And people remember me for that now. I don't know of people that are doing that. The integrity of people and what cop a look ain't gonna hurt nothing. It's what's inside you that counts. It's what you know. I look around and I say, integrity's like really lacking, but compassion's picking up, kindness is picking up, the hatred is kind of curving down a little bit. Yeah, it's still out there some. But with my comments, and other people are bringing it up too, and I say, we stop the hate, we start to debate, which brings us to negotiate for a final settlement and peace. And I've been saying this almost every video. Stop the hate, start debate, then negotiate, and we unite in peace. And now people are repeating that. Not the same way, but they're repeating the basic idea of that. And the biggest thing is I can see the change happening across the board in all different lifestyles. And now, in some areas, it's not as discernible as others, but the cussing each other out and the calling of the names has eased up. And I'm proud of that. So I have been at this Facebook first, and now this live stream, which is 22202 right now. Well, not longer, but anyway, to bring you good news. Yep. Earth expanded. Yep. We got 90 days. Yep. This and that and the other thing. But after that, which is like, all right, batten down the hatches. We're heading into a storm. Everybody just put the jib up. We're all going to be okay. Because we understand that the storm is here. We're not sure how bad it's going to be. We're not sure how big the waves are going to be, but it is here. Period. It's here. And history proves that anytime all the planets are on one side of the Earth, we have increased volcanoes, increased lightning strikes, increased atmospheric issues, increased, water anomalies and volcanoes and earthquakes. Yep. These are facts. The other facts are people are starting to be more aware. And it's not about fear monger, because if you've listened to me before, I try to stay out of the fear part. But we got to be prepared, y'all. Duh. So pay attention. These things are happening. They are going to happen for the next 90 days. Like I said, not sure how severe, but we all need to watch our backs. And if we use like this coming Friday as a positive day for meditation, every day is a good day for positive meditation, but as a group meditation this coming Friday and the full moon and the lunar eclipse, we can really tie into some heavy duty energies that will bring peace to this planet. We're already bringing peace to this planet. I don't know what the next move is with this and that, but pedophiles are being arrested. Other folks are being arrested for being stupid, etc. Things are getting done. Other people around the world are seeing things. The new president of Mexico was voted in by a popular vote, a populist vote, like we did with Trump. Trump and him are already talking about, okay, dokie, we're going to fix these things. They want to fix the drug cartels. They want to stop this killing on the border. They want to stop all these other things. In fact, the new president of Mexico is like, you know what? I don't want Mexicans should stay in Mexico, not because they can't visit, but we need the jobs here, but we need to create our own. And we need to create our own trade where the people before, the presidents before, they all worked with the drug cartels. They all worked with the Mexican mafia, if you will. It's been proven over the years. I know people from Mexico who talk about it and explain to me, oh, Dave, you not hear what happened in Mexico when I went home. No, tell me, Juan, blah, blah, blah. This guy, this, and 7 people in my community were murdered by the cartel, and it's like, holy crap. And it's just some little village in Mexico. But now the populist people have had enough. They want this shit to stop, just like we voted for Trump, just like other people are voting for other people. No, we want this stuff to stop. And the more we stop arguing, the more we start debating, the more we look for solutions, the more we reach our peace. And it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. It's a good thing. It is, in my opinion. And I'm just hoping that with this, and I'm going to put out more positive videos. God, I can't believe that I just going on and on about plastic, but it is so bottom line that people aren't understanding what using plastics internal and into the environment. No matter how good you think things are, you got to think about 1% always gets away, and what that 1% means. And do we need the plastics? No. We should have glass. We should have other containers. We have been thrust into this paradigm of using plastic. And we have been thrust into the idea that it's okay. It's okay. No, it's not a worry. It's not a bother. We got it. We're recycling. We're doing all these wonderful things. And at the bottom line is that, no, it's not. On a molecular level, on a cosmic level, on a spiritual level, if you continue on with that lie that plastics aren't harming us or the environment and that everything's hunky-dory, I will pray extra hard. Miss Rainbow Phoenix, you're late but here, and it's my bedtime now. Well, this has been 6 hours on 2 different mediums tonight that I've been doing. Wade, I think there are more people aware than is what's speaking up, because it's just showing up. Like the Trump and the EU thing today, Trudeau's complaining with, about the tariffs and this and that. Trump's like, hey, let's just quit the tariff business. Let's just sell it. You sell this, and may the best man win. They can't grow enough soybeans over there in the UK and so forth, and in Europe as we can in the middle of America. 6:41 p.m. here. It's 4:42 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time here, Miss Marie. I'm right. Well, thank you, Miss Rainbow. Go back and watch the beginning of this when you get a chance, Miss Rainbow, because I'm touching on other things. But to the point, though, the light workers are not paying attention to this. There's so many people who are just sloughing this off. And I'm the worst conspiracy theorist, because folks are saying, Dave, I can go along with this, that, but you just full of shit on this one. And I'm like, okay, no, but y'all want to raise your vibrations, but you don't want to pay attention. Y'all want to do all this light work, but you still don't want to pay attention. You don't want to pay attention to the quantum in front of you. You don't want to pay attention to that drink bottle with all that crap in it. Even the water bottles. You're getting it, They're lying to you, and it's harming your person, your body, and it's having a tremendous effect with your frequency and your soul. It's the truth. And I gave my explanations earlier. My kidney problems are gone. My bladder problems, other than being 66 years old, is almost gone. Mostly 90% of it, which is tremendous. Considering that I would wet on myself, I would have the urge, and before I could even stand up, I was like, I'm already got smelly pants before I can make it to even stand up to pee, let alone get to the bathroom on time. But even that's better. And what I have done is I've eliminated as much plastic out of my system as possible. And I've seen these physical changes with myself, doing nothing else except making these modifications. I'm telling you, get you some stainless steel containers, a couple of Stanley thermoses. They'll never go wrong. They'll always be there. They're hardy. You can put water, ice, whatever beverage you want to in there, and it's safe in that stainless steel. Always good in that stainless. There's nothing that's going to come off on that stainless. If anything, you're going to get some iron in your blood. Or maybe just a tad little bit of chromium, which is good for the body as well. Whereas plastics, there's nothing in plastic that's good for us. Nothing. It's a polymer, it's a natural, and it gets stuck in our bodies and won't come out. And then people are suffering from all these things. Like I said, my arthritis is better. I never expected my arthritis to get better, simply because I keep finding ways to get plastic out of my system. Holy crap. I hope you will find the same. I hope you will understand what I'm talking about this molecular quantum thing, because it's jamming our signals and coming in and out, and it's hurting our bodies, and etc. God, I can't quit talking about it. Really on a rag about this today. I'm on a rant. But I've been on a rant since 2002 about plastic. And I've been real quiet about it. And now I'm getting my butt kicked with a cattle prod going, you gotta get people to understand this. It is really deep. It's really fundamental on so many levels. And when people just ignore it, then they're ignoring the rest of it. If you can't see what this molecular thing is doing to you on a nano thing, then what the hell are you meditating for? Because you're not there. You're allowing these other frequencies to be stuck in your body, and you're going, big deal. Who cares? It's a little bit of plastic. Dave, you're full of shit. Okay. I love you all anyway. I mean, I do. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I've said my piece. I've repeated myself more in this video than I probably have in any of the other ones. Plastic. I just can't. It is so important that people get it. Not just because this is plastic, but the nano small particulate thingy, that's what's important. And if we want peace with the earth, on the earth, then we got to stop this. And each one of us that slows it down, for every time you don't drink out of a plastic bottle, that's one of those 1% that isn't going to get lost. I mean, making the choice to cut your plastic substance, water, whatever. So use the plastic, but then go fill it up and drink out of the same one. If you gotta, okay, if that's convenient, Before I had a bunch of plastic, but then I got rid of them because I realized I was still doing the same thing, even though I was using my water. I was like, yeah, but they're still plastic containers. They're still off-gassing. Oh, shit. Then I was like, stainless steel. Well, I worked in the machining business. Yeah, stainless steel in a Stanley thermos. Okay, great. And stainless holds up forever. And like I said, if you get anything off of the stainless, it's going to be iron, which is good for the body, and a little bit of chromium, which is also good for the body. these are metals. Okay, a little heavy, but not like kill you heavy metals, but metals that are beneficial to the body, and the body can eject them. Not so with any type of plastic. Plastic cup, plastic this. If it's plastic, you're going to get these things in you, period. I said it, I repeated myself again. Some bitch. It is what it is. All right, Mr. Wade, I took my glasses off and everything. But let me run back through here, y'all. 442. I'm definitely watching this. You get, brother. People here in Canada need to speak up. Agreed, Phoenix. Yes, I like grants. I get on my rant every once in a while, but this one about the plastics. The other day I had this really intense dream, and it was, I could see these little molecules, and at the time of the dream I was like, what the hell's that? I mean, really, I was like, what the hell's that? So I'm like, well, and I could see them like going through my body, and they were like sticking in places. Now, this is in the dream. It was a meditative dream, but it was mostly a dream. So I'm like, yeah, okay. So I'm going through this thing, and it was like I'm watching fluoroscope, I think is what it is, where you can stand in front of it and they can see inside you, kind of thing. Okay. So it was sort of like that, a little bit like maybe a sonic thing. Sonic, when they do look for the baby with the sound. Anyway, so I'm like, when I wake up, I'm like, okay, that was weird. Not bad, but it was weird. Here's these things, and I'm looking at my body through an X-ray, and I'm like, okay, what is this? Well, then, like, it took a day, because I'm still like, what the hell was that dream about? Then it comes to me. Plastic. It's what me, have decided to take out of your system. You, David, have decided to minimize your plastic intake of here, 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 and here. And I went, I did. I made a conscious effort to, but my main reason was because of the 1% that could make it into the ecosystem. Now I'm off gassing all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Well, I cut back, but then it dawned on me the other day that I had actually gone further in depth, and that I decided consciously, I'm getting these polymers in my system, and they're not coming out. And so when I looked at myself through the fluoroscope thingy in the dream, I noticed, I was like, there's a dot there, there's a dot there, there's a dot there. And then there was this little weird voice in the back of my head said, it's less than it used to be, and you're improving. Okay. Well, then today is I'm like, okay, what's my topic for Wednesday? It's Wednesday. I should have been on with Milky Way Weekly earlier, but he's out of town, and that's okay. So what's my topic for discussion for today? Plastic. And I was like, what? Plastic. Okay. Plastic. Oh, well, stop. Plastic. All right. Every time I get hit with this cattle prod from the other side, plastic. Ooh, like, all right. Plastic. Okay. Stop it with you already. So here I am with this. But to the point, though, it is that serious. And we have been led to believe that it's just so safe, and it's not. But on the quantum level and the other frequencies and everything else, there is that other whole side to it as well. So it's not just that we're intaking it and it's not leaving us, but it's keeping us from our vibrations and the Earth's vibrations. And we can make a difference. I mean, I'm a child of the 60s. I was born in 52. I'll be 66 this September. I remember going to the store. We made it just fine without plastic. I'm serious. When we got plastic, I mean, I still bitch about it. Mountain Dew tastes best in a bottle, in a glass bottle. And they finally started putting Mountain Dew in the old bottles that they used to do. in glass. And oh my God, it tastes so much better in gray. We can do it. Glass is really cheap. And you don't have to take a petroleum thing. There are times now where we need plastic byproducts from the oil more than we need the oil for our cars. Now, they're not talking about that shit. Why aren't they getting rid of the oil stuff and cars and this and that? Well, because then they would run out of the excuse of the byproduct for petroleum, plastics, blah, blah, blah. They've already developed other polymers that are biodegradable, that would be available in the body if you ingested any of it, and it would be removed naturally because it's based on natural things versus a polymer made from petroleum, which is not natural to our bodies. So we can make the choice. Once I got it in my head, oh my God, if I was thirsty, oh my God, it's going to be 10 minutes before I get to the house. I'm not going to die. And I'd make it to the house and then I'd drink water. I'm really thirsty right now, but I'm not in the middle of the desert. I'm 10 minutes from the house. And why should I stop and spend $1.25 on water and plastic that now I'm going to ingest and have to throw away or recycle and risk that 1% chance of getting out of the stream? I got 10 minutes to the house. What am I going to do? I was like, oh crap. I don't worry about it. I keep a container of water when I'm out and about a lot, which is rare these days, but to the point. I got my own water. I carry it around with me. I bought a thermos. I did a this and da-da-da-da-da. I got my own water. My water. Cold water, my water. I know it's filtered. It's my water. And I'm not drinking out of plastic. And I can recycle my thermos. And. And ever since I made that decision, and ever since then, I've had these other bodily function thingies improve in my own system. And the most thing I'm remarkable about is my arthritis in my hands is better. That's like I can't figure out how this got better. And then today in my meditation about this plastic business, it was like, it's because those built up plastics in my hands and joints and other places in my body and other joints is leaving. I have made a conscious effort to remove them. And I was literally picking out little pieces of something the other day. It was like a pimple on my hand. And I'm like, I must have bumped into a blackberry bush or something. They fester if you don't get the little thing out. And it was like, it looked like plastic. I was like, what the hell, coming out of my hand? Yep. People are fishing strings and things out of their arm. I can't think of the word right now, what it is. But the bottom line is that they're wondering what these things are. Could it be that they're polymers? Could it be that they've been eating plastic so much that now with these new vibrations from the energy, which are changing our bodies, DNA, cellular structure, have an effect on us, are these new vibrations wiggling these plastics out of our bodies? As the vibration changes, is it wiggling these things out? Is it making them go away? I'm kind of like, maybe. Now, this is my own personal, because like I said, how did my arthritis get better? Because I quit doing these things. I mean, it was so bad, and I'm right-handed, and puppeteer, and wood carver, and machinist, and I'm a Libra. I use my hands. I couldn't hold on to anything with my right hand. I mean, I literally couldn't make the pinching between these two fingers. Couldn't, finger and thumb. Couldn't pick up anything. I couldn't. And my manual dexterity is like 150% in my ability to do little tiny thingies. That's what made me good at the jobs that I had in machining and other stuff. And the arthritis was so bad. I was like, I can't work on my puppets. I can't do I can't hold the soldering iron to do a little bit of electronic repair. I mean, I was like, crap, what's wrong with my hands? Well, you're getting old, Dave, and arthritis is kicking in. And okay, well, all right. But I know other people that their arthritis isn't like mine. And what? So, I'm looking around in my environment. And it didn't dawn on me until my meditation, the dream about the what things in my body, and the fact that, oh my God, my arthritis is getting better because I continue to make a conscious choice about drinking in these damn polymers. I mean, this is like a new revelation to me. Now, my hands have been feeling better for the last 6 weeks, 2 months, but they still wake me up in the middle of the night, cramping and doing this number. I haven't been woke up with cramped hands in the last 3 months. Stiffness the daytime, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But I mean, as I'm looking and thinking back on this, it's been going on 4 months since I woke up with these bad cramps in my hands. But I'm making an even more concentrated effort to rid plastics from my system. At the moment, it's going to be hard pressed for anybody to convince me, you know what I'm saying, that getting rid of plastics in my own system didn't help my arthritis is getting better because I'm getting older. I have no explanation why my arthritis is better, except the plastic. It's the only thing I've been able to look around in my environment and go, nothing else has changed except my rejection of plastic. Also, my intent to whatever's in me, get out. If it ain't natural, get out of me, So I'm doing my prayer meditation, which is I accept and receive the blessings and the healing from the universe. I accept and receive the knowledge and the hidden knowledge that has been kept from me. I accept and receive all the healings, all the blessings of the cosmos. And I thank all of creation. I thank Creator, Source, all of the elders, all of the ancients. I thank all of my relations, my family and friends, and all other beings. I thank you. I love you. Wado. That's my prayer. I say it several times a day. I don't know. Sometimes maybe only twice, but sometimes 15 or a dozen. Or 15 or a dozen. Yeah, like a dozen is more than 15. Ha, ha, ha. But to the point, though, what else have I done differently? Remove plastic out of my system as much as possible. Remove these things. Don't take them anymore. My hands work. I'm not being woke up. I don't have another explanation except I'm not using plastics. That's my belief. That's my soul. That's Mother Mary saying, see, I'm giving you proof of what you're going to speak about with other people. Whether or not they believe you is their choice. But the fact is, Dave, you're better. Here's my hands. This one was the worst. And I'm getting rid of plastics. How about that shit? Take it for what it's worth. But I'm here to tell you, if you start making the conscious effort and choice, you'll find out it ain't as hard as you think. It's just so goddamn inconvenient right now. Ah! Yeah, but are you going to be home in 10 minutes? Well, yeah. Then do you need to stop by and get a drink and buy another plastic bottle? Do you need to? Well, I'm really thirsty. But in 10 minutes, you can have all the water you want. You're going to be home. Yeah, but I need it. Are you going to die in the next 10 minutes? Well, no, but I'm really thirsty. Okay. Suck it up. And when you do, you'll realize, you know what? Somehow in my brain thinking, if I get this little dry mouth. If I don't get liquid in me immediately, I'm going to frickin' die. No, I've been in the wilderness and had a canteen, and I had a half a canteen and had a day's journey to get back to wherever I was going. Do you drink the whole canteen right there? No, you put enough in your lips to go, that's good water. And you put the cap back on. And you save it, and you nourish that water, and you think on that water. And if you meditate on the water in your canteen, it's worked for me so many times. That's why I'm still alive. But I've seen other people, like, not even in a dire strait, I'm going to die if I don't get a drink. Like, they'll drink the rest of the water in the canteen and then have no water for the rest of the day. Me, just enough to wet your mouth. Cap back on. Hour later, cap back on. I got water when I get back. Other people are like, and they are dying and sweating. They are like in another realm. So when you think you have to have it, if you stop a second and go, wait a minute, how far am I to the house, or where, okay, it's 20 minutes. Am I going to die in 20 minutes? No. If you got to take meds or something, okay, but they're different my point is, though, when you stop thinking you got to have it now, and that in 10 minutes or 15 minutes will be okay, when you think of it in different terms of, wait a minute, that's another damn plastic bottle. That's some more carcinogens I'm going to stick in my body. When you get out of that mode and get into, oh my God, I'm 10 minutes from the house and I got plenty of water there. When you get into a different paradigm of thinking, and it just takes a little practice. And when you get there, you'll go, oh shit, man, why didn't I do this sooner? Really? Because you're gonna feel the health benefits. So if I don't move, my right foot is asleep. My toes hurt because I've been sitting here for the last 6 hours, yapping at this little light up here. I love you all, I do. And I can't seem to shut up, but I got to shut up because, like I said, I'm cramping up and I got to go to the bathroom and hang on. I'll finish up. Have you tried a copper magnetic bracelet? Yep. Communications are going to suck again. It will also be a time to root out all the frenemies. Good times. Yep. Aren't we all, as the gremlins half the time? And Mercury is going to retrograde again soon, and that messes with communications. Absolutely. Yeah. But when you are forewarned and aware, and some crap comes your way, you can sidestep it and maybe gets a little splatter on you versus a cow flop right in your face, a nasty one. But anyway, yeah, like a spring clean, absolutely. It would also be a time to root all the frenemies. Yep. I Mercury conjunctions show my mind is always busy, and being in Aries. I had a few friends of mine who were Aries. Yes. Wait, I'm working on some other copper things, by the way, but yes, there are magnets in this copper bracelet. I have a couple others. My grandfather taught me about copper back in the late 60s. My grandpa Noel, he literally died with a piece of copper wire tied around his ankle, and he refused to take it off for any reason. And he was buried with that piece of copper around his ankle. And that was before anybody ever said a damn thing about copper. And I've been wearing copper since I found out from my grandfather back in the 60s. So to that point, though, I seem to be ahead of the curve. And then all of a sudden it's popular, or all of a sudden it's like, well, yeah, copper, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, magnets. I carried magnets in my pocket before I knew what they were doing. But to the point. Wait, come back up here. Wilson's disease. I have a busy mind as well. Oh, never heard of that Wilson's disease. Google it. My friend would use colored glass for water and only collected it in ceramic containers. Yep, yep. There's a lot of good in that. Email me, David, when you are available to do a stream. Okie dokie. Cow patty, absolutely a nasty one. You know, a little runny on the sides. Your Aries rising. I'm a Libra stuck on the scale. I don't know if I'm descending, rising, or took a dump in the middle of the pond. That was a crazy line. They line those meditation pyramids with copper. Your Capricorn rising. Well, I'm Mr. Dave, and Wade, you're Virgo, so you got a birthday coming up. I'm on the cusp. 24th of September. So I think one time I was actually in Libra. There was one time, I believe. Wait a minute. No. Fall started before my birthday and then once or twice after. At least I'm having that stops me from jumping into things without thinking about it first. Or Aries just jumps in without a thought. Boy, Rainbow, you're a Libra descending? How about that? I don't know if I'm ascending or descending, but I am a Libra. What's your birthday, Rainbow? You're the 20th of this month? August, because we just passed. Yep, I'm the 24th of September. But to the point, though, birthdays all around, eh? I know that they're... 30th of July. Well, your birthday's coming up too, hey? And 20th of April. Marie, my brother has a birthday on the 19th of April. Just a coincidence, but to that point. All right, y'all. September. Yours is September 20th? Oh, just 4 days. 4 days ahead of mine. Okay, great. 420, Marie. Ha, ha, ha. Don't have the middle name. Yep. All right, y'all. I hope you know that I love you from my heart, soul to yours. Thank you all for hanging out with me. And I hope this made some sense. And seriously, this plastic issue is a really big deal. And you should be telling your friends and neighbors about it, that they need to stop using plastics across the board, especially to drink water with every day. Water. Stop it. We can make a choice. Until next time, and Wade, I'm going to get in touch with you. 5% battery left. I love you all. Night. Yeah. I'll get with you, Wade. And there's been a family issue that I wasn't understanding about. Come to find out that my brother's wife is very sick and is very close to passing. And she went into it on Saturday, which is the same day I went into a serious meditation. And I didn't know where or who it was for, but I knew it was important. Now I know it's my sister, I guess sister-in-law in a way. Is that right? Yeah, okay, sister-in-law, yeah. But that going to be seeing the sunrise soon, Dave. Okay. Yeah, actually, it's starting to get light out there already. But to the point, though, so I've been in heavy meditation with some serious sickness and folks passing over to the other side kind of deal right now. So if things resolve themselves in that area, Wade, I'll be with you and I'll be back on and we'll do a live stream chat because I still need to figure out how to invite somebody into this mess. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Love to you all. And continue with being positive. By the way, can you all see the changes coming? Yes or no? Can you see it, feel it? Do you see the change, or is it just my weird perspective? Am I the? Yeah, you're invited too, Marie. But can you see the changes? So as I'm speaking of this, you can see them also. I mean, I'm not bringing up some. I mean, maybe it might be something. See it and feel it too. And Miss Rainbow, about 6 or 8 weeks ago, and I think we all felt it. There was just some kind of, I don't know, the heaviness went up, and it was about the time of when summertime started. And yep, big changes are coming, and they're here too. So I, I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad that we can feel it. I'm glad you notice it and that we can all feel it. But it seems like the weight of the world was lifted off my shoulders. And for whatever that means, it it was about the same time that Milky Way and I started talking. I mean, there was other things going on, but it was sort of about that time. Solar eclipse now, we're about to have a total lunar. Yep. And glad to. Absolutely. All right. Big hugs from here. It's been 3 hours and 30 seconds. So I love you all until next time. Good morning. Good afternoon. Be safe. Be kind. I know you guys will, but be safe. There are crazies out there who make changes to us. Absolutely. Group hug, Miss Rainbow, Marie, Wade, and there might be 2 other folks on there, and whoever you may be, blessings to you. Group hug, y'all. And sleep well, and may the bed bugs don't bite. Okay. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Love you all. Good night.